So welcome to another episode of the Legged Podcast. This podcast is sponsored by Howden's Kitchens in Aintree. Now, Howden's Kitchens in Aintree are having a massive sale on. This isn't one of those sales that shops have every 2 weeks, a closing down sale, a half price sale. This is a genuine, big, massive sale that they've got on that runs up until the 31st of October. Get down, they've got loads of deals on, loads of offers, loads of great kitchens. Go and check it out. It's Howden's in Aintree. That's where it is, that's where you need to go and check. Go and have a look at them now. Howden's Kitchens Aintree. Enjoy the pod.
Radio, thank you so much, Jono Carroll, for coming on the Legged Podcast, mate. So you literally just, we were talking in the car, you literally just fucking reached out to us.
Yes, my man.
From the Dean episode, was it?
Yeah, it was from the Dean episode, yeah. It was actually Jazz, and me and Jazz went and had, Jazz Dickinson, went and had a little Subway. And we were talking mad stuff about coronavirus and pedophiles and all the usual mad stuff that's going on in the world today. And he was like, no way, really? And he told me about your man Dean. He was like, hey, did you ever see the Legit Podcast? And I was like, no, show us. So he showed me, and straight away from there, I was liking one or two of your posts. And then I got back in, he was like, mate, I've been on it. He says, you should hit them up. He said, they'll definitely get you on. I was like, see me with a Scouse accent. I'm only here a week and I already have a Scouse accent. But I was like, fuck it, I went home and I just reached out and was like, yeah, mate, I'd love to come on.
I love stuff like this.
Yeah,
literally
same,
just...
man. I'm fucking buzzing that you've even, mate, give us your time, mate, so thank you, man.
Man, my pleasure, lads. And especially because I'm flying out tomorrow. So even on the weekend, I was like, all weekend I was saying, Jazz was like, will we do this and we do that? I was like, no, man, I have to go home and see that they text me and see when I'm in. I probably wanted to come on, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love things like this. And I love, like, even like the Joe Rogan show and like this is the type of thing that gets people out there, gets people known. Yeah, you know what I mean? So what you are doing is brilliant. Like, I didn't even know your man Dean, and now I follow him, and now I'm on his Instagram and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Looking and seeing his stuff. So it's good. Like you kind of get to know more people. And
mate, and just like people like yourself, like, you know, it will be 2 years in February since we first started this, and like the crazy, you know, even the Dean episode, you know, last week we had Dr. Grace Robinson talking about county lines, drug gangs, you know,
I've learned so much, mate. Like, just made so many new friends as well, and just like it's great to see people we've had on and then their careers go, and you, like you say, you follow them on social media. Yeah, and it's like, fucking hell, God, remember that? And it's just quality, man. I loved it.
But that is one thing, like, social media is great, but it's horrible because you end up spending so much time then sometimes on it, following certain people that you like and watching videos. All of a sudden you're like 5 photos in, you're like, I'm an hour scrolling through rubbish. Like,
mate, that was me today, man. I was just watching all the stuff on YouTube, man. I was fucking creasing at some of the stuff that you misses, the little things that you do.
But it's good though, like you said, like you can follow people's careers now and you can see what they're up to day in, day out. It's mad the way the world is going these days, you know what I mean? But what you was doing, like, it's deadly. Like, now I follow your man Dean. Jazz will put me onto you. It's just like, it's all a little network, and you know what I mean? We'd probably be friends for life now after this, you know what I mean? So
100%,
it's mad, it's good.
What are your, go on then. So, because we touched on this in the car. So we had to do an episode after Dean's episode just to talk about the, like, criticism that we got with people saying that it's dangerous having this sort of guy on your platform. Positive stuff.
Yeah, 3 camps we kind of nailed it down to. I'd say about 70% were like, Dean's on the money. He's fucking onto something.
100%.
About 20% were like, he's a fucking barn pot. Yeah. Maybe like 5% or something, 5-10 were like, you shouldn't even let him have a platform. You shouldn't allow him to have his views. It's dangerous.
But then at the end of the day, like, it's not freedom of speech. Is that not what the world is supposed to be all about? You know what I mean? At the end of the day, like, so even if he is batshit crazy, that's him. That's like, he should be able to be whoever he wants to be.
100%.
He should be able to speak his mind and do what he wants to do. You know what I mean? Like, even me, for example, I was in Tenerife there and I have a doctor's form to say I don't have to wear them masks, you know what I mean? But because I was in a hotel, I put the mask on. Now I had my nose out because if not, I start getting panic attacks and all right. Panic attacks. But no, straight up I do. Get panic attacks, right? But my doctor, I have a form to say I don't have to be wearing them masks, you know. And basically, I had it on my mouth because I was applying with the law, and I understand that people have a job to do and stuff like that. So everyone in that hotel, they were just following the orders, what they were given from the top down. So I got that, but we're all sitting around the hotel at the pool. Obviously, you don't have to wear it when you're sitting down at the pool. But so when I go to the bar, like, I'm not messing. It's about not even 10 feet away. I walk over to the bar without my mask on, and I went to order a drink, And the security guy goes, "Oh, your mask and all." I was like, "Oh yeah, sorry mate." I was like, but I was half thinking like, "Yeah, sorry mate, I'll get it. I'll put it back on in a minute." I was like, and he orders me drink anyway. And he was like, "No, get your mask." I was like, "This fella for real." I was like, "All right, no problem." So I understood, walk back. But like, there's about 100 people sitting around this pill. The pill's huge. Like, no, but there's loads of people sitting around. No one's caring about social distance. They're all swimming in the same pill and all.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, all right, whatever, mate. No problem. Went back, got me mask, got me drink and all. And then later on that evening, I'm going for dinner, and I have like the mask. I have my nose out so I can breathe fresh oxygen the way our bodies are supposed to be breathing. You know what I mean? We're not supposed to be breathing in this carbon dioxide.
Yeah.
But anyway, long story short, your man goes, "Oi, that's the second time." He was a cheeky bastard. Felt like giving him a slap. He goes, "Sorry, I don't even really drink, but like I was like, is this fella for real?" Like I was like, I don't know whether it was like the one red wine that I had, but I was like, this fella for real? He goes, "Oi, second time I'm at the catching you. Third time you be going to reception." I was like, I felt like I was in school, you know what I mean? I was thinking, this fella for real. I goes, "Mate, will you cop onto yourself? I'm wearing the fucking mask, just haven't got it over my nose." And he goes, "Right, come on, up to reception now." I was like, all right, let's go. So I walked up to reception with him. So I walked up to your woman and I said, "Listen, can you tell him I have a letter from my doctor to say that I don't have to wear these masks? So why is he being a prick, right?" Sorry for cursing if I'm not supposed to be cursing. But anyway, I was annoyed with this fella. My missus was like, "I'm gone." She bailed and went for something to eat and all. She was like, "I don't care. I'm not putting up with your mad stuff, you know what I mean? I'm out here." So I was like, "Oh, you go get filled. They want me baby there anyway." So walked up and I was like, "Right, come on, mate." And he was like, "No, you get it yourself." So I was like, "All right, grand." Went down, showed him that I did have a doctor's note and everything else. And so I wanted an apology off them, but they wouldn't give me an apology. And I was like, they were like, "Oh, now we have to see is it authentic or not, if it's real or not." I was like, "Are you for real?"
Okay,
I was like, hold on, boom, start like my camera out, video recording and all. I got like 11,000 views in about 4 hours, tagged them in it and all I did. And I lost like 200 followers from that night. I lost about 200 followers, but I must have got, I am not messing, about 200 messages probably. I don't know what it was like 300 messages underneath it, but private messages as well. I got people saying, "Fair play to you, mate," because at the end of the day, like, you were wearing the mask, but you know, he says, if you have a note, you have a note, and blah, 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 blah. So I wasn't even bad. I spoke to the manager then the next day. I wanted a full refund now. I wanted to leave. And I was already 5 days in. I was all inclusive. I was thinking, lovely, about to saving a fortune here. But the missus was like, "No, we love it here. We've only 2 days left." I was like, "Babe, we'll get a full refund and we get out of here. We stay somewhere else." She was having none of it. She wasn't. So anyway, they ended up ringing me then because I tagged them in it. Tagged the whole town. They ran ringing me at like 12 o'clock because they're having
Like
a noise.
customer service team or they're ringing you to
The reception, take it down, will you? Blah, blah, blah. I was like, "Oh, we're ringing the police." We're ringing the police. I was like, ring the police. I'll be up to the reception now in 2 minutes. So I jumped out of bed. My missus like, "Are you for real?" She was running the muck. I was like, "I don't care." So I went up anyway, rang me letter and everything else. "Please come in," showed my letter, and he says, "The man doesn't have to wear the mask. Like, he has a letter. Like, so what is the issue?" She says, and she was like, "We're just following orders, but he has this on his Instagram." And your man was like, "Well, that's his Instagram. Nothing he can do." So I said, your mum was like, "Can you take it down? Because like, we don't give you permission to have our faces on it." I was like, "But at the end of the day, your man completely violated my rights and everything else." So I was like, I was wearing it because I was applying by user laws. And I get it. When I'm in the field court and all, I was putting on user bleeding gloves, I was hand sanitizing, I was doing everything you want me to do. I was like, but this fella was harassing me, he was doing me head in. I was like, and it was more the way he dealt with the whole thing, you know?
Yeah.
Been a job's worth.
Yeah, he was just, and I was like, how much are you even paying him? You know what I mean? You're definitely not paying him enough for the bullshit I'm about to cause him here. I was running amok, I was like. But long story short, the next day I spoke to the manager. The manager was sound. And she agreed with me. She was like, "Listen, I hate all these masks as well." She was like, "I wish we didn't have to wear them, but we are told from the top down that I suppose we have to, so we're just going with the rules." And I said, "I understand that." So I explained the whole situation to her. And it was sweet, but she asked me then nicely to take it down because she asked me nicely. I was like, "Yeah, no problem." She sent me a bottle of champagne, 2 teddies for the baby, box of chocolates and all. I was like, "See, babe, I told you I was in the right." She was still having none of it. She wasn't. She still wasn't happy. But
That's what is divided. I think people. It's just like the bullshit rules and how you can do that there, but you can't do that. I went to cinema the other day. He said, "Have you got a mask on?" And I said, "Mate, I'm not wearing a mask for that to sit through the film." He said, "No, you don't wear it to watch in the room. You just need to wear it for walking through the
foyer."
The foyer.
Yeah, like
it's like that's what I need. I'm alright not wearing a mask now. Then I've got to wear one for 30 seconds and I can take it off again.
Yeah, it's mental. Like even
sense,
today,
man.
like in the coffee thing, I had to like. Well, I didn't actually. I just told him I was like, I have a letter. I don't have to wear that mask. But everyone else had to wear the mask in the line. But yeah, when they sit down, they don't have to. It must be the smartest bleeding virus ever. It's like, oh, when you're having a coffee, it doesn't attack your immune system.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like for me, I get it. Like if I'm sick and I'm coughing and I'm sploring everywhere, and I need to go to shops for essentials or whatever, no problem, I'll put the mask on because I don't want to infect other people, I don't want to whatever. No, like elderly and whatever it is. But if I'm healthy as a horse, I don't see why I should have to wear it. You know what I mean? So like even my last fight, for example, I had to quarantine in Ireland for 2 weeks. Right? Still had to train, obviously. But yeah, then I had to go from Ireland to then England, and then I had to do a corona test anyway, passed the test. But yeah, I had more chance of catching that stupid virus anyway from all the travelling they were making me doing because of these rules and regulations. You know what I mean? They made me get on 2 flights rather than just one straight from Spain.
Definitely.
You know, so it's just like all these stupid rules.
And that's what's making people, whether people say you're not taking it serious or you're not respecting it, whatever it may be, it's because of all this fucking bullshit around it.
Yeah.
That's my thing. I think that's what's causing it. And it gives more, whether you believe Dean or not, it makes people side with Dean more and think, well, Dean's on.
Question it.
Yeah, Dean must be onto something because fucking, you know, like all this, it's legal now that every bar or restaurant, you've got to give your details.
Yeah, I know. Like, so why do I have to tell people where I live, my phone number, all these things? That's a mad. That and hold it for 21 days or whatever. Number one, if you're working in that job, that's a nightmare having to do that and ask people that private information. You know what I mean? Now, if we went to a restaurant and say to the waiter, "Here, give us your number, your address and thing," she'd be fucking ringing the police, getting the bar in order against me. You know what I mean? But because I want to eat there, I have to give her all that.
And that's what feeds into the conspiracy stuff, because you're like, well, why do they want all your details? Why do they want it?
Yeah, and then especially when there's videos online of like, there was like a kid being pulled away from its mum or something because like not wearing a mask and some bollocks in Australia as well.
Did you see that pregnant lady who was
on the flight?
No, she was in Australia. They got a search warrant because she put up something about protesting about and they came to her house and arrested her and took all the phones and all the gaff. That's mad. Yeah. She was like, I have a scan in an hour. Are you for real? Like, they still arrested her anyway. They don't care.
You've got all that to come if you're following Dean, then mate. You've got all that to come with Dean, mate.
100%. But like at the end of the day,
it's daily updates.
Like, I don't care what other people say because a lot of people are not awake with all this sort of stuff. If you do actually any research into it, because I am no conspiracy theorist. I'd never watch the news, never watch anything like that. I don't care what's going on in the world. Like, I just do me, look after my own family. But when stuff like this starts affecting my life and my kids' life, then I start asking questions and then I want to know. So if it's something that I'm interested in, then I do my research on it. Yeah. You know what I mean? I usually don't care about things like this, you know, like whatever like going on in wars now, I'm like, let them matter, I don't care as long as we don't have to fight in no war. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, this is basically a war. It's just very smart. Tricking people, you know what I mean? They're doing all like now we're not even hearing about the amount of deaths. We're only hearing about cases. So what if someone has a case? Well, as long as they're getting over it, then they're getting herd immunity, aren't they? So like, what's the issue we're catching the coronavirus? If you're fit and you're healthy and you're taking your vitamins and you look after your body will look after you. Yeah. I don't care if we catch it or not. Like, I genuinely don't. I'm actually quite happy if we do catch it because I'm like, I'll get herd immunity. It won't bother me later on when they spread this second virus, you know what I mean? And then we're all real sick.
Mate, and no one's ever talked about it. I can't remember who mentioned this a lot. No one's ever talked about, right, we all have to wear masks and things like that. But no one said, look, there's a way that you can help improve your immunity, which is exercise, eating healthily.
Zinc.
Yeah.
Don't get on the fucking ale every night, which everyone did during lockdown. Everyone just got on the ale. The worst thing you could do.
Worst thing you do. And then the thing is as well, we're herd animals. At the end of the day, humans are supposed to be interacting with other humans. Yeah. You know, we're supposed to be. So when you lock someone away, like someone that I know killed himself, he overdosed on a lot of drugs, just like out of his head, and fucking overdosed because he was depressed out of his head with the whole lockdown. But
well, mate, on that, mate, I seen a thing there in August. More people committed suicide than died of corona.
Yeah, like that's bad. That.
What the fuck's up with that one?
Your man basically killed himself because he overdosed. And on his death cert, that had coronavirus. His ma ran amok over it, and she was asking a lot of questions like, "Why is this? How blah blah?" And you know what they said? Because he had trouble breathing before he died. Of course, he had trouble breathing before he died. He was about to die.
Fucking hell! And they put it down as
coronavirus. And she's still going through a lot of rubbish because of it. Because that's what I heard anyway. That's bonkers to me.
Yeah.
But then I did hear that obviously the hospitals and that are getting 15 grand every cert that they put down. Coronavirus,
I've heard
and then on the ventilator they get 30 grand. So like, what an incentive. Especially because that they're building all these places for like loads of people to apparently go to, and no one ends up going to the hospital because they all are shitting themselves. You know what I mean? They don't want to go to the hospitals.
Do you know what I really feel? I feel like it's a breath of fresh air that we can have a conversation like this, because if we'd have had this conversation back in March, like say late March, April, I think we would have been fucking hounded and people would have been on it so disrespectful.
Yeah, how dare you? There's people dying.
There's people dying. Look,
people are seeing it and people's livelihoods are getting affected now. Like you say, I mean, I'm like you. If it doesn't affect me daily, I don't really give a fuck. But if it's when, mate, I've lost so much money through work, it's affecting this and that,
you and me
affecting
both,
friends and families, and I'm like, this is fucking bullshit now. There's
for sure
certain things that are happening, you're like, so you are going to question it, do you know what I mean?
Like, I know people over there in Spain who had very successful businesses, 3 like bars, and they were making a fortune, and they got another bar only last year, and now I was only speaking to him before I come over here, and he's basically saying, John, I made on Sunday night, he said, I made €100 profit. He says, I could make anywhere from like 10 grand profit a night, usually. He says, I made €100. He says, not even enough to cover people's bleeding wages. He says, like, we'd be bankrupt by the end of all this. He says, we'd be bankrupt. By the end of this summer, we'd be bankrupt. He says, I'll have to shut all the businesses.
Definitely.
He's at that working years and years to build them 3 companies up, you know what I mean? And they were very like popular pubs and like nightclubs, and now they're probably going to shut. You know what I mean? Now he doesn't know what he's going to do. This is a hard working man who like, he has kids and everything, you know what I mean?
Especially in
Spain,
Spain.
he was driving around and whopper cars and all. I think he actually had a Lamborghini Jeep and all last year, and now I'm like, oh mate, you want to get rid of them Jeeps? Let's put that into an investment or something.
But in Spain as well, mate, it's difficult because it's so reliant on tourism and like it's but who knows?
It's mad. Like I remember I made a silly comment like at the start, like we were saying, it was probably April or something. I remember saying like, I'll be investing in this, that, and the other. I'm not gonna say what I said. I'm not going to get into it with my dad get out with me. He was like, you are real people I don't know. I was like that, but at the end of the day I was like, if people aren't allowed in venues, I was like, I'm not going to be able to fight. I said, we can't fight, I'm not getting paid. I was like, what am I going to do? I need money, and I have a kid, so I was like, I was just being honest. I was like, sorry for being honest, but at the end of the day I genuinely don't care. Like there's it's mad mind fucking for a lot of people that have like jobs and commitments, and they have kids, and a lot of people are worried right now, you know what I mean? You just
how much does it how much do you think promoters are worried, especially in boxing, about not being able to have people through the gate? Like, is there thinking that we can smash pay-per-view and it'll be...
I don't think Eddie Hearn made money on that.
No.
On that thing.
No. So I'll give you a mad... this is the God's honest truth. For obviously, when I fought Scott Quigg, I paid my trainer X amount, right? From my last fight, I got the same as what I paid my trainer previously, and I was still a 10 rounder. Like, so I got paid then. So then my trainer was obviously getting paid 10% or whatever what I'm getting. So he got like
whatever, yeah.
Fuck,
you know what I mean? But like that's how much my money dropped from fighting Quigg to like from one fight. So like my trainer got more for that fight than what I got from my last fight. That's crazy. That's what I mean.
Crazy,
like,
that
so if the promoters can do that, if the promoters aren't making money, and I was topping the bill, so I was getting the most, whatever. I don't know what the undercard was getting. Jesus, could only imagine. I don't even want to know. You know what I mean?
Hell.
Poor fellas, like, but. The thing is, for like boxers that are only coming through, you have to sell tickets coming up, on and up and coming. If you don't sell tickets, then promoters don't even really want to know. But right now, you're not even able to sell tickets because you're not allowed. So I don't know what all the up and coming fighters are going to do. And then people at the end of their career, like if they're not fighting.
Well, yeah, there'll be people wanting a big
like,
last big payday, won't there, and stuff. And
yeah, and they're not going to get big paydays. No one's getting big paydays now.
Yeah, I heard the thing saying Eddie Hearn had lost money on that.
Yeah, and that's not
the one that he did in his back
on like
garden.
the whole fight camp. Overall, he would have lost money.
Of course, and then could you only imagine the amount of money that he put into his, like, it's even in his back garden.
Yeah.
Could you imagine he even had to go and rent a venue and pay a venue and all the other? That because even doing it in his back garden would save him a few quid, because now we can do it a few times, you know, in his back garden. But if he has to rent a venue, that's even more money again. You know what I mean? So it's a mad time for boxers. It's a mad time for a lot of people.
I didn't realise how much of, especially when you're starting out, and Jazz has said the same thing, and so did Paddy as well, of how much you actually, as a young boxer, you have to sell tickets on. Like, it's all about that. You just mentioned it before, like and that's why it's so important to have like Jazz has a huge following in Liverpool, and like to try and
I mean, that's a good point, mate. On that, when you're fit, we've kind of skipped about it. We start from the beginning in a minute, but when you are coming up, is that something that you think about, whether it's your style of fighting or your charisma on the camera? Is that something you think about, that you want to be a bit of a, not to be fake, you want to be yourself, but I mean, are you always thinking, right, I need to get a following going early, if you like?
Yes and no. Like, at the end of the day, like, for your first kind of fight, for your first few fights, like, you're just half shitting yourself about like doing the rounds and then making the weight, because a lot when you do professional you can kind of drop a bit because you have 24 hours to do the weight, so you couldn't always go below the weight, so you're more thinking about the weight and then you're thinking about like you have to do the rounds and stuff. So me personally, I didn't care. I just done whatever I done, be whoever I wanted to be. Now I know a lot of people. For an example, I was speaking to Conor the other day, lovely guy, but I was saying to him, he was saying like other people look after social media and that, and he was basically saying like, oh, I couldn't be myself on social media. If I said a thing, like, I'd get slated. He says, I said something on Twitter the other day and people slated me because it wasn't the norm for me. He says, if you had a blade and said that, you would have got away with it. No one would have blinked and no one would even said that. And I was like, well, mate, you should have just been your fucking self from day one. And no one cares. But but the thing is, like, he has Whopper sponsoring off him, like the likes of Reebok. And like, I don't have them sponsors because I just do me. So I genuinely don't care who thinks what of me, because as long as I can live with myself, and to me, that's all really that matters. Mate, but I don't get big sponsors because I am who I am and I'm so outspoken. So people are half like, you never know what's going to come out of his mouth next. You know what I mean? Yeah. Sure, I don't know what's going to come out of his mouth next, so I don't blame them.
Well, mate, I was literally just about to say on that point, if you're yourself from day dot, then surely the sponsors know what they're getting. Do you know they're willing to take a bit of a punt? Do you know what I mean? It's like,
of course.
I mean,
there may be some sponsors, but mate, I totally know what you mean. We look at like, I think two types of fighters. I think we mentioned them on with the Paddy one. Callum Smith. Yeah. Mate, he's so quiet, so well spoken. Just one of the nicest people, mate, from by all accounts. And then again, I don't know when he's even next gonna fight.
Yeah, I know.
Do you know what I mean? And then you look at like someone like McGregor, who kind of made, like, he's obviously an amazing fighter, but his charisma and calling people out and that, you just want, he got me into UFC.
Me too.
Know what I mean? So
no,
it's like,
I don't even watch UFC with McGregor's on. I watch him.
Yeah.
And it's like totally two opposite ends.
And I don't even like him. I don't even like the young fella, but I'll watch him because he's Irish and he's funny, so you never know what's coming out of his mouth either. So,
but that's what I mean, and it's just two ends. Someone's quiet, who just goes about the business, that's it, and then someone who's out there doing it, and it's, you say it affects big time, doesn't it?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it affects money big time. Like, I know people, I've made more money than loads of people, like even world champions. I know like a fellow who fought for the world title, got a world title, WBC, which is obviously one of the best belts, and I got paid more money in a lot of my fights than what he got for his world title even.
Really, yeah.
You know what I mean? But only because there's such a big fan base and I can sell fights and so for an example, Eddie Hearn doesn't like me. On record right here now, we'll say it to Eddie Hearn's face. Eddie Hearn doesn't like me. Sky Sports don't really like me, but I don't care. I genuinely don't care. But the thing is, they told me one time that I'll never fight on TV again because of the tattoo that's on my back. You know what I mean? Because the tattoo means our day will come. But for me, it's a very different thing. Like, our day will come just mean that we'll get a whole Republic of Ireland basically back, yeah? And it was my uncle's favourite saying. So when my uncle passed away, I found my uncle dead on my 16th birthday. And he had this chain on his neck. And he should have been putting the chain on me the night before. So I got the chain, I gave it to the tattoo artist and I said, put that chain on my back and our day will come. He was a boxer as well. It was at all my amateur bouts. And basically I said, put this saying, like, our day will come. But to me it means I will be world champion. Like, we will be world champion together because I'm representing him, he's on me back, you know what I mean? Basically that's the way I kind of look at it. But I got told that from when I fought in Germany on the Klitschko and Tyson Fury bill that I will never fight on TV again. By Sky Sports and Eddie Hearn and whatever. Now, no one said that to his face. You know, they said it to like managers and teams. No one ever said that to my face, so I wouldn't run amok. But yeah,
what's the other saying behind it?
So basically, like, the IRA used that saying as we'll get a whole Republic back. So he was saying, well, it's a terrorist bleeding, it's a terrorist saying. But you can say it's a terrorist saying all you want, but let's be real. We didn't invade anybody here. You know what I mean? So how are we terrorists? We used to ring in places. If we were going to bomb somewhere, we used to ring in places and say, evict this place, make sure there's no one here because you don't want to kill innocent people. So that's the nicest fucking terrorists I know anyway. That's all I'm saying. But I don't care about all that shit because I go to Belfast. I'm loved in Belfast because I'm a boxer. Like, they all have respect for me, and like, English people couldn't care less. You know what I mean? I've nothing against anyone. But I'm obviously proud of my history and everything else, proud of my family and me fucking the ones that came before me, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, for me, it was my uncle's favourite saying, and he was just a mad thing, you know what I mean? Like, so he was he was paranoid and all. He was always like, I'd rather be trialed by 12 than carried by 6. And
I love that saying.
Yeah, he raised me right, like, even though he was just telling me mad stories, things that like my dad would run amok about if he had known that my uncle was even telling me, you know what I mean? But he was like a brother to me. Like, I grew up in a house with 4 sisters, you know what I mean? And I lived in my nanny's house a lot. And when my ma passed away when I was 15, and I moved out at 15 and moved into my nanny's gaff and all. So I was actually sleeping on the floor with bleeding 3 or 4 towels and sheets and all. I was sleeping on the floor with pillows. That's all it was. Like, it was mad for ages because we were broke ass. But that was when I was living with him at the time and all, and that's when I found him and stuff. But for me, that means something. Like, I would walk away from boxing happily. If I wasn't going to be on TV, I wasn't going to get paid money, I couldn't care less. I would have walked away from the sport. Had loads of people, stepdad, dad and everything saying, like, just get covered up with a bit of makeup or thing. I was like, man, be bollocks.
Yeah,
why? Because someone with a bit more money than me, a bit more power than me tells me to. Nah, fuck that. Like, I'm standing for what I believe in. So I said, nah, me bollocks. So it was a big kind of leap of faith. And then I joined with MTK, and lucky enough, they matched me then with Frank Warren, and then I got on TV again. And lucky for myself that MTK looked after me. They got me my first title. I then got myself in contention that I was like high up. I got a European title, then I got like the Intercontinental title. So I was ranked top 15 in the world. And then Eddie Hearn comes back and offers a deal on the table, like a 3-fight deal. You know, so I was like, here, we want you on TV again. Here's a load of money to do it. I was like, this is a setup. This is a setup if I ever heard of it. Shit, that money's good. Let's do it. You know what I mean? No problem. I couldn't care less. But that's basically the way it went. You know what I mean? So, like...
Did you ever think at the time when you're saying Eddie Hearn doesn't like it and you never get on TV, did you ever think that a fight deal had come down the line? Did you ever think maybe in the back of your head, I'll work hard, and then one day they'll come back?
Well, like, at the end of the day, I genuinely believe that, like, the cream of the crop always rises, you know what I mean? So I didn't care. I believed in what I was going to do. And then, like I said, I would have preferred just to walk away from the sport and never box again. If that was the case, someone told me to take a tattoo, I was never taking the tattoo off my back, mainly because of what it means to my family. You know what I mean? And like, I know my uncle's looking down on me. If I took that off, he'd be like, you fucking cowardly bastard. You know what I mean? He would give me a slap in the head if you had been alive for doing that. No way, don't be doing that. Fuck that. You believe in something, you stand up for yourself. You know what I mean? Believe in what you want to believe in, and that's that. But so now, I never thought about like, I'll get in contention again. I just thought, I just have to go to America. I genuinely was saying, I'll just go to America then. If that's the case, because they love me in America. They love all that mad Republican stuff in America, you know what I mean? So I couldn't care less. I'll just fly to New York or wherever. Boston, and I'll just go over there. They'll all love it. Eat that up, you know what I mean? So I couldn't care less. And now they do. They love me in America, and that I have a massive fan base over there too. So like when I fought Farmer, the amount of fans I have from America now is ridiculous.
Really?
Mental, mate. I have people from all over the place, Mexico and all, text me like, lots of love from Mexico, lots of love from this. Like, mad spots in the world.
That's
like,
quality, isn't
mad
it?
Russians and all to be texting me like, lots of love from Kazakhstan, from this one. Mad spots. I'd be shocked sometimes. Like, look at this. But it's just because I talk my mind as well. And I genuinely don't care. I think like, my management team probably ringing me later like, don't be saying Adrian doesn't like it. I don't care. I just say facts. I'm not lying to anybody here though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But the thing is, mate,
the thing is, I personally like Eddie, and Eddie chats to me. He likes me as a person. Like, we'll chat away, no problem. But don't try to get me to get shit like that rid of. You know what I mean? Like, fuck that. Like, that means more to me than anything else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So for me, I'm always like, Eddie just didn't like me. He had a chip in the shoulder. But I don't even think I had anything to do with Eddie. I genuinely think it was like Sky Sports or that fan. I think it was basically a lot of people from Belfast, man. It's the only thing it could have been.
Yeah, probably.
Because English hasn't a clue what that means. No Englishman knew what that meant. You know, they don't care about the history. England tried to invade fucking everywhere. You know what I mean? So they didn't care.
I've got a lot of friends, mate, and from Northern Ireland and all that, and I'm being in the military, mate, and like I say, I've got a fucking clue about half the history there. And you'd have mates from Northern Ireland, from Belfast, from Dublin, all these things, and as English lads, we never really knew what was going on, and they kind of say stories about what happened, but it's a bit like, if it doesn't affect you there and then, it's like...
Yeah, who cares?
It's...
Like, Tom Stalker is one of my best mates from Liverpool as well. Like, Tom Stalker is...
Yeah, he's out in Marbella, isn't he?
He's out in Marbella as well, like, and he's like family to me, and I swear to God, like, I lived with him in Scotland. We were doing a camp, and I was like half telling him certain things because he was asking the same. What's a tattoo mean and blah blah blah. We were walking down the road in Scotland, and there was I think the Wolf Tones or something was playing, and they were selling these bandanas with like the tattoo. Took a guy, I was like, look, there's a tattoo that's on my back, and he was like, get that, walk out with that, and I was like, don't be a fucking man. I was like, I already have that on my back. I already got in trouble for like having that on my back, and you're saying put a bandana on, like, you know what I mean? I was like, will you stop? I was like, you're an Englishman telling me to wear, you're mad as fuck. And then he didn't understand. He was like, what do you mean? So I had to tell him a little bit about the history. And I got him end up watching a few, like The Wind That Shakes the Barley and all. If you haven't seen that, mate, you need to watch that film. That's just a little bit about our history, but it's mad shit that went on back in the day.
When you've got a history like that, mate, as well, it's proud, you know, your history and your family and all that, mate. When you get, you know,
Yeah,
And I love
100%.
that cut. Like, I don't know what it is about fighters. Jazz is the same. All the fighters that we've had on here are just, I wouldn't even say cocky. They're just so confident in themselves. And it's so admirable to have, like, what other workplace do you go in? Ultimately, it's work, isn't it, for you? Because you get paid and you've got to pay the bills.
My missus said it's not work, by the way. It's not work. You just go to the gym. Well, that's fucking work.
Yeah, it
okay,
is
what you say? Do we get paid? Yes, that's work.
Yeah, fucking hell, it is.
She doesn't class
Mate,
it,
you've got to go to. So, what other workplace do you go in where everyone is so confident in themselves? But I wouldn't say, like I said, not cocky, but just like you said, you know, I back myself and I believe in what I believe in, and no one can tell me otherwise. Do you know what I mean? I love that.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
So
But you can tell when people are not like that and do maybe keep a bit. Like, for example, you can tell the sportsmen who have their social media accounts looked after by other people.
Yeah,
You can tell them, and you can tell the likes of yourself. They're maybe just saying whatever's on their mind. You know what I mean?
Some fella from Liverpool texted me last night and it was like, what's up, mate? I forget what his name is, but he was basically just said, I can get you paid for giving shout outs, you know, someone's birthday and all this and that. I was like, nah, mate, fuck that. I was like, if someone's birthday, I was like, oh, nice fella, I don't care about the money. Like, they'll say happy birthday to him for nothing. I don't want you to be getting paid for that. And he's like, no, I was just saying, I already got approached before for that. But listen, if someone wants me to say happy birthday, I will say happy birthday. I sent someone had a kid or something the other day, or it was a gender reveal. And I sent him a big message, like, congratulations on your little boy, delighted for you, blah, 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 blah. But like, at the end of the day, like, that is a nice, genuine person.
Yeah.
I think I'm a nice, genuine person. I'm just like everybody else. I don't think I'm any better because I punched the head off someone for a living.
yeah,
You know what I mean? If I do it outside the ring, I get locked up. You know what I mean? So like, it's just a job. At the end of the day.
Such a funny story though about that, mate. I've had a few people like ask me to do messages, or like, for example, I do motivational speaking, so I've went into schools and done talks. And during lockdown, a few schools said to me, Andy, can you do a little message? So I've done a few done all that, mate. And it's nice to do, like you're saying it. So this is a funny story. This, so anyway, on Twitter the other day, what's his name? Chris Maloney, I think his name was. He was on X Factor,
Right.
like years ago.
Yeah.
And anyway, he's put this thing up. I see it on his Twitter, and you could pay him £15.
Yeah.
And he says a fucking shout out. So I clicked on this thing. I couldn't fucking believe it. That people are paying 15 quid.
It's mad, I know.
And he's just sitting in his car.
Yeah.
He went happy birthday and all that. I was like, fuck me, I can't believe people are doing this. So anyway, he told me dad. My dad's laughing his head off. But I tweeted, I'm like you, mate, I just fucking tweet whatever. I've got in loads of shit over the time. So
100%.
I just tweeted going, what the fuck's the world coming to? People paying him 15 quid.
It's mad.
So anyway, my dad then pays 15 quid to this lad Chris to get one for me, you know, as a piss take.
What a legend.
But that Chris knew it was me, and he didn't do it.
Did he not?
Nah, because
Did he take you 15 quid?
they give it back.
Fucking one.
Because he knew it was fucking, I've been taking the piss out of him.
Yeah, it's mad it is.
But I'm like you, mate, I've said things on Twitter.
Personal, there it is there, yeah.
Mate, it's so funny you mentioned that. I had a look on Cameo.
mad.
Have you seen what
Cameo,
people
I think
charge?
this is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, some people are charging 50 quid, 60 quid now.
John
This is
Kavanagh
mad
for
money,
41
like.
quid. What the fuck?
Wait, no, he's only a trainer. You're a
Wait.
bleeding trainer, me.
Mate, there's
People don't even pay that for an hour session.
Wow.
Like,
there's ones on here that are like $2,000.
$2,000,
Yeah.
serious, yeah. Like, I wonder what Snoop Dogg is there.
To get the
Snoop
Chris
Dogg.
Maloney up.
See what Snoop Dogg is? Give Snoop a show later. Best 150 quid I ever spent. What's he?
Yes, fucking 622.
600 quid, Snoopy, you robbing bastard. Bet you give him a 50 bag, he'd do it in a happy. Here's $2,000, mate. Give us a shout, you'll do it in a happy.
That's a load of bollocks. Mate, you know, I got my dad one. My dad retired, and I got like a few friends and like if you like famous people, if you like to do videos, and if any of them had fucking turned around to me and said fucking 50, he would have been like, get your fuck.
Yeah, 100%. Like, I done it for you. I done one for a friend of mine. Basically, they messaged me and was like, here, it's my boyfriend's birthday, any chance you can do it for you? I was like, yeah, of course, no problem. I was over in America at the time. I got loads of lads, got Tevin Farmer, got Toka Khan, got loads of like different people.
That's cool,
just to say happy birthday. And then like, because he loves boxing, you know what I mean? And then she just put them all together, and obviously I done one as well, but there was about 12 of us probably done it all together, and I got like good people, you know, like really good people, like world champions. Now, no one fucking asked me for the penny. I would have given them a slap. Someone there, give them a few quid. Get the fuck. But like at the end of the day, boxers, I don't know, boxers are all sound and all that. But if you're starting to ask people for a few quid just to say hello or whatever, like, and the thing is, I don't. For me, I always say to people as well. Now it's kind of getting hard a little bit this time, but I get a lot of messages. But I swear to God, if someone texts me and says like, whatever, congratulations. Now, if someone starts giving me like, oh, you should have won that, and I'm sorry to say. I'm like, I don't text them back. I'm like, listen, I don't need negativity in my life. You should, if you said like, you were shit, mate, you should have done better. But next time you come back, I'll be like, yeah, I know I was. No problem. But I don't need someone pitying me. I hate pity. That's the one thing I hate. But anyone that texts me and gives me love, shows me love, give me a little bit of that time, I just feel like I should give that time back now.
100%.
You know what I mean? Like
100%.
Because at the end of the day, I come from a bleeding counter gaff. So I just think I'm a normal bloke, and I'll never change. And not that I want to change. I definitely want to rise, and I want to have many businesses, and I love all this motivational speaking and all this stuff. I'll definitely work on TV when I'm finished, and I probably will do a little bit of motivational speaking too. But like, I still will never forget where I come from. You know what I mean? Like I went back to Finglas only there a while ago. So it was a good bit now, but like I still, like, even for an example, just before my last fight, I was going for a jog with my sister, and she was like, "Here, me mate just said, will you knock in his son's a boxer? Will you just knock into the house and say hello?" Knocked in. I was on my bleeding jog, knocked into his gap. I was like, getting a quick picture, you know, like, and then kept going. You know what I mean? But
that's wicked, yeah.
Most people don't do things like that. You know what I mean? But like that little kid is never going to forget that.
Of course, mate.
Never
I think
forget
that's why in the city, mate, Jamie Carragher's my hero, but he's I think that's why he's such a hero for a lot of people in the city, because he's played, I think, the second most appearances for Liverpool, won, you know, pretty much everything you can, and he's still going to like a local gym, still like in a boxing gym with all the lads. He's just a complete normal fella. He's doing those videos all the time for people and stuff on wedding anniversaries and stuff, and he's just always got time for people, and you think like that's how it should be.
But like, even one of my goals and that, like, obviously I write down loads of my goals and that, and one of them is help people physically, mentally, even like money wise, like if I can, and then at the end of it, even strangers. Like, I don't care if you're fucking, especially some of the homeless here, you're gonna have me broke. I'm glad I'm going home to my bed tomorrow, because I'll be broke. I was giving everyone everything. I was I throw money out there for them, but like, I swear to God, it's just one of my goals that I want, because giving back is very important.
It's the best feeling as well.
It's the best feeling in the world. Like, giving is 10 times better than taking. I don't care what anyone says, and I truly believe, like, if God's blessing you with so many nice things and valuable things in your life, like even just happiness, or just fucking legs and arms, just eyesight, everything. You know what I mean? Being able to breathe fresh air without no mask on. You know, like, just being able to like just do normal day-to-day things. I done yoga last night with Jazz's dad. Went to a little yoga class, and there was a woman there with no legs. She was in yoga. She was doing a fucking thing.
She had no legs.
She had no legs. Jumping off a fucking wheelchair and all, do yoga. And I was thinking, do you know what? Fair fucking play to you. Had serious respect for her straight away. You know what I mean? I was, Jesus Christ, like, because most people feel down in the dumps and when they don't. But then when I got home and I'm reading my goals, and I'm just thinking, thank God for what we have. I have a beautiful daughter, I have a beautiful family. I live in a beautiful country, you know, like, I have my health, even just a jog. And sometimes, like, there's this little fella, Rory, saying he can't use his legs and that, and his ma's been trying to pay for surgery and that. But I used to have a band. I don't know where it's playing gone now, but I used to have a band, and I used to be running up Bistar Mountain, and so many times I'd be exhausted. It's like, it's 11 kilometers uphill and steep. A lot of it is steep, but loads of times I just catch a little glimpse of the band on my wrist, and I'd be like, that kid would do anything to be able to run now. You know what I mean? Fucking push yourself and stop being a little bitch. Just keep going. You know what I mean? I kept pushing myself. You know, like little things like that. Like, but I'm just very thankful for what you have. So
it's sometimes easy, isn't it, to forget, mate? When I lost my leg, mate, and even now I go through periods where I get infections, I always feel the most grateful when I'm back wearing the leg again. Because even if like I've like 4 or 5 days off my leg, and then you start walking and you think, fucking hell, how amazing is it to walk? Like, just to walk, you're like, fucking hell's the best thing to do.
And mental.
Because when you can do it all the time, you forget, don't you? And
mate, I think the best things, stupid bleeding saying, and it sounds corny, but the best things in life is free. You know what I mean? Just like normal, like even me and the missus now, we're growing all vegetables out the back and stuff. Like, you know, just like little bleeding Adam and Eve, growing that shit. You know what I mean? But it's deadly to be able to grow your own stuff. Like, I have that little bit of pride, and like, that shit is basically free. It's grown from the land, and it's pure, it's clean, you know, it's nice. There's no chemicals put on that shit, you know. Like, I think sometimes it's just nice to go back to the old way of living a little bit. And you know, like, we're, as human beings, like, sometimes we're stuck inside and dark rooms and like fucking false lights and that. Like, I think we should be out in the day. Time, mate, we should be bleeding, appreciating the nice fresh air. We should be appreciating bleeding, just normal day-to-day things. Like, a lot of times now, I'm like saying thank you for things at night and that. Like, I don't even say I'm that like holy, but I'm definitely very spiritual. And like, I'm reading like the Think and Grow Rich now at the minute, so
Quality,
I'm deadly book, So I'm writing down all my goals and all my dreams and all the things I want to accomplish. But like, there's loads of things on it, and I'm just thankful for just being alive. Like, one of my things is you're gonna live a happy, healthy life. That's just one of it. It's not like It's not like, oh, I want 200 million. That is in there too. I will earn 200 million by the time I'm 50 years old. That is one of them. But
Is it one of them? Yeah.
That is one of them. I swear to God. And I will earn 200 million as well.
Love
Mark my fucking words. I will earn that shit. And at the end of it, it's like, why? Because I can. Winner's mindset. Winners win. Positive. Always. Have faith. Faith scribbled underneath. You know what I mean? Because faith is a big thing.
Yeah.
Most religions and all this stuff is all based on faith. You know, so you have to have faith that I'm closing my eyes every night and visualising actually touching that money. I'm like, oh, it's so thick. But I swear to God, it's like you have to think big. And life is almost like a game. You need to play the game.
Mate, I wish.
You know what I mean?
Like some of the schools you do your talks in and things like that. If all the conversation we've had in these 4 rooms of people like yourself and reading Think and Grow Rich, and I just wish in schools that there was a class on some of the stuff we talk about, and not all of it, what we talk about in this podcast, but things like that book, Think and Grow Rich. All right, an 8-year-old can't read it, but a 15-year-old can read it.
Like The Secret as well. People
The Secret, yeah.
Well, The Secret is based on Think and Grow Rich, isn't it? It's your man Bob Proctor, and that he read Think and Grow. Someone gave him Think and Grow Rich years ago.
Yeah, because it's like 1929, isn't it? Napoleon Hill who wrote
Napoleon
that.
Hill.
Yeah.
Amazing book. But that was basically he his whole life he studied rich and wealthy people, and he was just around wealthy people, and then ended up writing the book, just picking up years and years of information off all these people.
100%.
The stories in it is fascinating. The stories in it is amazing.
A big one you said there though about like 200 mil. It's like it's a line I always say to kids. I say, if your dreams don't scare you, you're not dreaming big enough.
Yeah, 100%.
Because kids, I think now are subjected to just dream that I'll get a 9 till 5 and I'll earn 30 grand a year and I'll do. It's like, hang on, you can fucking own the company. You fucking,
for sure. Like the thing is, what you have to understand as well is if you write, like, whatever, I'm going to earn this, that, and the other, constantly in your subconscious mind, if you program yourself to think that all the time, when you wake up, like, I even have wrote at the end of it, like, basically, like, I haven't got, like, this way will come to me. I have full faith that the way of earning this 200 million, like, I don't know how I'm going to earn 200 million, but I know I'm going to earn it. But, like, I have so many things, but at the end of it, it's like, this, when I get this plan, I will follow this plan without hesitation. You know what I mean? I have that, and then, like, have faith. Boom, have faith, scribbled, loads of little things. It's like scribbled out, but life is almost like a game. It's like if I ask for like 1 million, I'm only ever going to get 1 million, because when I hit that target, what else is there?
Yeah, you're done.
So you're done. So it's like it's funny enough. Life is like a game. If you only ask for 1 million, you're probably only going to get 1 million. Shit, I'm asking for 200 million. If I can earn 1 million, I can earn 200 million. I just have to do that 199 times. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why I'm thinking about. I'm like, shit, like other people don't know. Why can't I?
100%, mate.
There's billionaires out there. Why can't I earn 200 million?
And I think with that on that 200 million thing, I think people forget of how much, like, it's easier said than done, obviously. And I'm not a millionaire, but people sometimes forget how much money there is in the world, and there's a lot of fucking money. Like, there's a lot.
You only want to get your little piece of pie out.
Yeah, you only have to get a little, like, 200 million out of everything that's in the world is not a fucking lot.
Even the thing is, like, if you aim for the stars and you only hit the top of the trees, the top of the trees might be alright. Yeah. You might be living comfy there on the top of the trees. But if you shoot for the top of the trees and you hit the bleeding lowest branch.
Well, mate, if you've got this dream for 200 mil, mate, and for the next 20 years, your missus, your little girl, and you have this great life, and you're aiming for that goal, 200 mil, and in 20 years' time, you hit 150 mil, but you've had an amazing time on that road to getting there.
Yeah.
Have you failed?
Yeah.
Have you
fucked? Hell no. I mean? Yeah, exactly. And another thing on it as well is, like, I enjoy the destination. Or not just the destination, I enjoy the journey. It's all about the journey. People are obviously too... Now, I'm just saying goal-orientated, but at the same time, you need to set your goals, but enjoy the whole way to get to them goals. Don't just think about goal, and you have to appreciate life while you have it. Because like my mum died in a car crash, just like that. Boom, she was gone. I remember speaking to her the night before, and then she was gone the next morning. So when I woke up from bed, like, I got told, and I was like, what? Nah, fuck off, like, you know what I mean? But she was gone. So for me, I'm like, I'm fucking living life right now. Like, one of my things is, like, I'm going to have a boat as well by the time I'm 50. And it was like, why? Because I can. Simple as that. Because I can. And then it was like, I know what I'm capable of achieving. If I put my mind to anything, I can accomplish it.
With that, mate, what you're saying that, do you think a lot of your attitude and, like you say, the motivation that you've got and all that is to do your mum? Because I lost my mum when I was 12.
Yeah.
And I say now,
100%.
That's the hardest, worst thing I've had to go through in my life, mate.
And it made me the hardest thing. A lot of times you don't realise that when something shit happens to you. Now the mindset that I have is like, when something shit happens to me, I'm like, this is God testing me to see am I ready for the next step. Because as fucked up it is to say, the death of my man made me a man, made me who I am today. It made me stand on my own too. I had to move out because unfortunately my dad turned a little bit to drink at the time, and I was like, fuck, I was on my own. Like I was driving my sister to school in a 7-seater taxi at 15. My man only died fucking few months before. You know what I mean? I was waking her up. I was like, man, get up. You know, because sometimes my dad would be asleep and that. Now, I love the bones with my dad. Me and my dad have a great relationship. But, like, he was going through his own fucking hard times. And I just genuinely believe that, looking back, that was the making of me who I am. And, like, even the whole going to Australia, I never felt like I had a connection. Not a connection, but I never felt like I was losing that. And by going, I was like, fuck, I have nothing here anyway. I mean, I'm only going to get in trouble if I stay here. I'm out of here.
So much like my life.
That made me, though, you know what I mean? When I travel a bit, I was like, whoa, that's how the other half live. Motherfuckers have boats in the garden. I was like, if you have a BMW in your garden at home in Dublin, you're a drug dealer. These have boats. Where are these getting these boats from? These can do this shit legit. I want this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I want this. And like, I'm not messing. The estate that I first went over with too, I walked to the shop and I seen about 3 boats, and they were like connected up to like the trailers, and I was like, 1,000 fingers, that'd be gone. Somebody just reversed the travels and take that in a heartbeat. You know what I mean? That'd be gone and sold on bleeding eBay or
Just
something.
a completely different life.
Just a different life altogether. So it opened my eyes up to the world and to what actually, how the other half live almost. And
It's mad, isn't it, how to think? 'Cause I've said it myself. I ends up, obviously, I got blown up in Afghanistan, lost my leg, and
wow,
you think like
fucking hell.
that. But as crazy as that sounds, compared to losing my mum, I think if I hadn't lost my mum,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have coped, you know, as well as I have done since being blown up. Do you know what I mean?
The thing is, I think you kind of
Not that I wish it had happened, but I know that if it didn't happen, I don't think I would have.
You probably wouldn't have had the coping mechanism.
No.
You wouldn't have had them calluses on the brain to know that you can get over that. You know what I mean? Because like you can have 10 days. Sorry, Dad. You can have 10 days. You can only have one man. You came from her. You know what I mean? Like so. At the end of the day, like it's your man's always going to be your man, isn't it? Like that's that person that cradled you when shit was hard when you were a kid or whatever. Like and you had a nightmare, you'd usually go to your man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So
your dad would be like, toughen up, you fucking you pussy. You know what I mean? It's just
Yeah.
But it's so
the way it
interesting that you
was,
say that though again, because again I end up doing a lot of travelling as well, and it is that thing. I think when again going through losing a mum, it just gives you a different mindset, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Everyone I've spoke to, I think, who's been through something similar, you can tell that.
Yeah.
It's this kind of, well, fuck it, man. Let's fucking have a go.
Exactly, yeah, of course. The thing is, what the whole thing, in like looking back on it, it made me appreciate every single day with the people that I loved, because you don't know what tomorrow holds. And like, I know when I'm saying that, it's like it's easy to forget and not say to someone that you love, oh, I love you every single day. But now, like, a day doesn't go by that I don't say I love you to me missus or me baby. Fucking must tell them at least 10 times a day. You know what I mean? Because I'm not even conscious of losing them tomorrow, but I'm always like appreciating now, because if you think about it, like a lot of people think you're gonna be alive forever. Who thinks about dying? Or the people that you love is gonna die, but someday that shit's gonna happen.
Yeah.
The only thing we're all guaranteed in life is that we're all gonna die sooner or later. You know what I mean? So come to grips with that shit. So I'm alright. I'm happy. If I die today, I'm good. As long as the people around me know that I love them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And I'm not really afraid of dying either. I'm a bit like, fuck it, we all have to do it. Like, you know, as long as I leave a good legacy behind, or I leave good memories behind. But like, just take for an example, if you're fighting with your missus over something stupid, if you think in your head, if I die tomorrow, imagine me dying on this stupid argument, would this argument actually matter? If you, like, looking at that, like, you would go straight down to your missus and say, listen, even if you're not even wrong, in the wrong, you just say, yeah, I'm sorry, my bad. I was an arsehole, I shouldn't have said this, shouldn't have said that, whatever. But if you think, there's a possibility one of us could die tomorrow, or just not wake up or whatever. You know what I mean? Because shit, like, you got blown up, so you know that shit can happen. You know what I mean? Like, you never know what tomorrow holds. Like, you genuinely don't. And people, like, because my mum was a car accident, like, I remember the last words and I said, because I had to tell you too loud. I was like, Lord, I tell you, yeah, no problem. But like, that was all. You know, the next day, I woke up, she's gone from the world. And the scary thing is, it's like, it's just like you never see her again. It's like, obviously you do, like in the coffin, but that's not the fucking same. Like, but it's like you never have that smell again. You never have that touch. You never have like the normal. It's hard to kind of come to grips with. You're never actually gonna see that person again. Like, that's the mad thing. You know what I mean? But when you come to terms with all that, I think it makes you appreciate the now. And if you appreciate the now, fuck, your life is going to be good, because every day you're gonna try and appreciate that day a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
And especially with people that you like. You're going to make sure they know you like them.
How did that affect you then from 15, kind of, you know, growing up, and were you into boxing at that point already, were you? Or
Yeah, so I was you know what, it was my first year of boxing. I was only boxing for 1 year when my man passed away, and I was always boxing with my dad. My dad always brought me to the gym. I was always, but I only started competing first year. I think I only had 2 or 3 fights, and then I was meant to have a fight. So say, just for an example, my mum died on Thursday. I was meant to fight on that Saturday, and my sister was like, "Why are you not fighting?" I was only bleeding stupid little thing. I was like, "Why are you not fighting?" I was like, "You for real?" My mum was lying there in the cot, and one of my older sisters asked me why I'm not fighting. I was like, "Are you for real?" Is it not obvious, like, Martin there in the cup, and you're asking me why I'm not fighting? Because I'm fucking here, we're all you, you mad thing. And she was like, no, because she worked where they were both hairdressers, and my ma went and done a girl's hair before our communion, and then got into accident on the way to work. But she said you had to listen to ma every fucking day, bragging to people, the girls that don't care about boxing, never watch boxing in their life, saying, "Oh, my son's a boxer." You were only bleeding, you was only an amateur boxer. But she was telling everyone how proud she was of me, and he has this fight coming up, and he says she'd be one of them loudest in the crowd, you know what I mean? "Come on, Jono, kill him!" You know, typical bleeding Dublin, like. But saying stupid, embarrassing things. But it was amazing though, you know what I mean? She wasn't one that like shy away from boxing, and she loved the fight game. And she was super proud of me. So when my sister said, like, "No, ma, fucking," she'd be annoyed that you're not fighting now because of her. She says, "You need to go back to boxing. You need to fucking make her proud." And when she says that, I'll never forget that. My sister, I'll never ever forget that. And then I was like, from there on, I was waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning, jogging before school, training after school, just to make her proud. And then I think I had 3 fights before she passed away. And I 1 win, 1 loss. I think actually I only had 2. 1 win, 1 loss, and then the next year I went 22 fights, no losses, won the All Irelands and all. It was mad.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, and then
what a drive that is, though.
What a
man.
drive.
Fucking...
I remember I was fighting some fella, and I won the first round, and then I lost the second round, like, clearly. It was his hometown, and I lost the second one clearly. I remember sitting in the corner, and my coach was talking to me, and it was just whatever he was saying was went straight over my head. I remember thinking, my man's looking down on me here now. Am I going to fucking lose this fight? I was like, get the fuck back in there now. She's looking down, you make her proud. I swear to God, I got back up, like, goosebumps when I get in there now. But I remember getting back up and thinking, I'm going to smash this cunt. Went there and bomb. Won the fight in his hometown. He was 2 weights heavier than me and all. He was bleeding about 4 or 5 kilo heavier than me was. And didn't care. Went in and battled him, and I got the home decision. It was in his hometown. I got the decision and all in his club show. But
that's special.
Mate,
yeah, like it gives you such a drive.
Because at 15, when you're sideswiped with that news, I feel like that sort of age is a turning point in a lot of people's lives, especially when you start at 16, because you can either go one way, where you go the way you went, which was, you know, I'm going to do it for my mum, or you can go, fuck all this. Like, and then life literally goes a different way, where usually it's down the wrong path. Yeah. Whether that's crime, drugs, whatever. But
yeah, well, so I basically went down both paths, in fairness, to be honest. So I've done that. I've done that the first year, obviously, to make me mad proud and all. 11 months to the day, literally 11 months to the day, my uncle died on my birthday. I was living with my uncles at the moving out my house now. My uncle died. And
fucking hell.
So 11 months to the day, my uncle died, and I found my uncle bleeding. On my birthday it was. And I was picking up an All-Ireland medal. I was at the win the All-Irelands that year. Like I said, I went 22 fights that year, no losses, won the All-Irelands. So I won the All-Irelands in my age group and the age group above. So I had to pick an All-Ireland medal up. So you have to be clean shaven and all in the amateurs to be in the ring. But so what happened was, I was with my uncle all the day before, and I said, "Listen, I need a shave," because I was fucking, even at 16 I had a mad beard. But I was like, "I need a shave, mate." I was like, "Can I grab one of them razors off you?" "Yeah, no problem, grab one there now." I was like, "I'll grab one in the morning, because if I have a shave now, I'll need another bleeding shave in the morning." I was like, "Grab one in the morning." And I came in, I found him dead in his bleeding floor the next morning. Hell. So anyway, yeah, mad it was. But he had like a blood vessel burst in his heart, and then he fucking collapsed, and he hit his head off the wall and that. But I heard like, fuck, I'll just tell the truth, I heard like a boom. And I was watching porn, and you were that rockets room. And I was like, pausing it, you know what I mean? I was like, ah, shit, you know what I mean? And then I didn't hear that, and I was like, sorry, boom, press play again, you know what I mean? Just went away, whatever I was doing. So, don't watch this if you're on that. If you're on that 16, don't watch this. But yeah, that was the truth. So I heard the actual boom when his head hit the wall. And I was like, fuck a boy. At the end of the day, like, I just thought he banged off the wall, you know what I mean? Because he was at the been drinking. So I just thought he just stumbled coming into the room, boom, banged off the wall. So, yeah, found him dead then the next morning. I mean, Nanny was like, "I don't want you here," and all, blah, blah, blah. When, like, the fucking coroners come, he says, "Go, pick up your medal." I was like, "You for real? I need to be here for you and that." And she was like, "No, Jono, I don't want you to be here. Go and fucking pick your medal up." So, like, I just have such respect for me Nanny, so I was like, "Alright, no problem." It was like, you just do whatever she tells you, you know what I mean? So I went, done it. I had to go in there, like, didn't even tell anyone in the car. Like, I was just like, for ages, I just in my own thoughts, in my own mind. I was like, fucking hell, whatever. I went, picked the medal up.
And how old
whatever.
are you now?
16. It was my 16th birthday.
Jesus.
16th birthday, 12th of April. And that's the uncle that I got the cross and the tattoo on. So it was my 16th birthday this happened on. So then after that, he had like the day before, he used to give me money now to do the rollies for him. So I used to do, like, he used to get like the tobacco, and I rolled up loads of the tobacco for him, and he used to give me money. I forget what it was. It was like €2 or €3 or whatever, and I just rolled the packet for him. But at the time, I didn't care. It was good because he taught me how to roll and all. And obviously, when I seen that next day, I robbed all his fucking rollies, and I went out and I had a smoke. I think I had a joint actually. I think I had a joint that day, and then after that, then I was just smoking loads of weed just to numb the kind of pain, you know what I mean? Numb that. Now, when my mum died, I remember being in the ring. I remember thinking, this is amazing. Boxing was deadly because it gave me a break from my whole shit that was going on in my head, you know, my mental bleeding fucking state. Boxing gave me that break. But then when this shit happened, I was at the window all run, so we had a little time off then. And then I started smoking weed heavily then, basically just to numb the whole fucking thing. And because I was at the moving out of my house, I had no money. My nanny was broke. Like I said, I was sleeping on bleeding sheets and fucking
Pillows
towels.
and,
No, literally towels. I was sleeping on about 3 or 4 towels and about 3 or 4 sheets. I just had one pillow, like, you know what I mean? And my other uncle I was living on my other uncle here, and he had a single bed, and I was sleeping in he was bleeding, 16, 17, he was 19, and I was living on his floor, like, basically, you know? So, so I actually started selling weed and all at the time then, because I couldn't get money off me bleeding nanny because she was broke as. And I wasn't getting out, not my dad was fighting with him at the time because he went to the drink a little bit, and I was more angry and stuff like that at my dad because he should have still stepped up, you know what I mean? I had a sister that was 11 at the time and he didn't. Now I'm over all the shit now, I forgive him for everything, but at the time he could have fucking
It's a bit hard
stepped
for your dad as well, love, do you know what I mean?
For sure, like, it was his love, you know what I mean? And she fucking died, and it is what it is, like.
I think that...
He liked to drink anyway. They all liked to drink in my family. I have that addictive personality, all of us do in my family. My ma used to always say, stay fucking away from, like, one of my uncles is schizophrenic, and the other one, the one that died, was paranoid. We're from, like, taking the drugs and drinking and all, you know, going and partying. They grew up in the fucking 80s. I went in the same 80s and 90s, you know what I mean? Like, but so we have that addictive personality in my family. So when it happened, my dad just like went bump, because he was always losing my mum, and then when my uncle died, boom, he was fucked, you know what I mean?
His world fell
apart. Little brother as well, you know what I mean? So
a lot of
dad,
loss in just a short space of time, isn't it, for you all?
11 months, and you had to losing 2 really, really close people in our family, and like we were a very close-knitted family. Like we are, like, I basically lived in my nanny's growing up because I had 4 sisters. So my uncle is only 3 years older than me. So it was basically like a brother to me, you know? So I used to fucking go up, and I basically was in there all the time because otherwise I was just hanging out with the girls, you know? That has its pluses as well. But sorry, another story. But but then I went down that wrong route as well. I went down smoking weed and selling weed and all for ages. And I just started getting in trouble, and I was always like, the boxing started falling apart. But I'm not going to lie, I'm quite happy that it happened when I was a kid and when I was young, because I only boxed for 3 years, and then I actually stopped all the weed, stopped all everything, and I started fucking training for the Olympics, 2012 Olympics. But then it broke my hand, and then it just downward spiraled. Then I was obviously what I was doing, I was selling weed to make money, and that was just to get like to and from. It wasn't even to like make loads of money or anything like it. It was basically just to feed myself and fucking get the bus to and from school and all, pay for me lunch, because I couldn't get out. I mean, nanny was broke ass, you know what I mean? So it was just a mad time in my life, and I just had to do what I had to do. I was only a kid, like, so, and it was like monkey see, monkey do. My uncles all used to be acting the bollocks and doing things when we were younger, so it was like monkey see, monkey do. It was the only thing I actually knew at the time, and all my friends smoked, so it was like, it's an easy way to make money.
Yeah.
I got to connect, so it was sweet.
But what you're saying, mate, our last podcast guest was her name's Dr. Grace Robinson. She's like she looks at like gangs and kids and things like that. And it's mate, when you're from like this type of areas where you're from, mate, and that's there, the opportunities, it's fucking impossible not to, you know, at least dip your toe in it at some point. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. And that was it was a mad time in my life, because I was at the hitting 18 then, and I was really downward spiral, and I was fucking, actually, I had to breaking up with the missus at the time. I was with me missus since I was 15. And then when I got 18, like I was drinking, I was depressed a bit out of my head, and ended up breaking up with the missus. We broke up on good terms, like, you know. I felt like I was at the hitting 18. I was like, listen, I want to go and do this, that, and the other. I was only kind of with her and one other girl, so I was like, listen, I need to go and do my thing. I'm 18 now, you know what I mean? I'm like, I'm sorry, but you're not 18 yet, you can't come out with us. So, it is what it is. But at the end of the day, because my missus used to always say, I don't want to be that dope, so don't leave me to be the last person. Don't be going out cheating. If you're going to do something, tell me. So I had enough respect for her to go and tell her, in fairness, you know, so I told her. broke up. We remained best mates. We done what we did. She still hung around with us and all, like, and yeah, I done what I done, but I literally went in a downward spiral and was was hating on everyone and was fucking fighting with this person, that person, and because they owed me 100 quid if I come back at this person, you know what I mean? It was just stupid things going on. And then I got the opportunity to go to Australia, and it was like, boom, my whole life just changed. When I went over there, like, I was speaking to a woman on Monday. She was my babysitter, you know, and she was having a barbecue over in Australia, and I knew her brother used to be teaching me guitar, Oasis and all when we were only kids, but he left for Australia when I was about 6 maybe, you know what I mean? So they were having a barbecue over there, and I was like, Jesus, lashing here, fair play, I'd love to be over there. And then she said, well, why don't you, Deco, will get you a job? And he said he has a spare room in his gaff, he's come over here and live if you want. So Monday morning she rings me and was like, listen, I'm at the finding a fly, he's at getting you a job, and he'll write on your visa to say that you have a job and you have a place to stay. She says, I'm looking at a flight here now, 500 quid on Friday or Saturday, whatever it was. She says, do you want it? I'll book it right now. I was like, book it, boom, just jumped on the plane, I was gone. Just left Ireland, you know what I mean? It was just like, I was only 19.
But you went over there to box, or you just went over there to get away from everything?
Just went away because I was like, I was downward spiraling. Like, I wasn't with the missus. I was going out drinking, partying, fighting, just doing stupid things, you know what I mean? Because I was at the breaking my hand, and my hand was never healing, because that's when I started going out, like, partying and drinking. I had just stupid mates that was always getting in fights and stuff. And then obviously I was a boxer, so I was like, oh, knock him out, bam, hitting people with my broken hand and breaking my hand again. My hand just never got time to heal. So it was literally sore for about a year. I just kept hitting people with it, like, stupidly, you know. But when you're 19, you don't care. You don't think of it was just, and you know what? I've never started a fight in my life, but I've been in loads of them, you know what I mean? Just gave me all the mates that hung around, they were all bleeding dopes. Used to be drinking and smoking a few joints and that before I went out, and they'd be like, oh, it's going to be murder tonight, they're all excited for the murder. I'm like, fucking with that attitude, they're definitely going to be, my hand's killing me, will you fuck up your fighting last week, you know what I mean? Stupid it was, but I knew, I'm not messing up. I used to always say, like, I'm just not that I'm not quite out for this life, but I always was like, I can do better than this, you know what I mean? I deserve better than this, like, I don't need to be doing this shit, like, I want better for my life. So when I just knew Australia, whatever it was just something calling me, you know what I mean? Sometimes you just should just listen to your gut, because everyone was like, no, are you for real? You're not going. I was like, I'm going. You see, watch when you see Friday, I'm out here, like. I had to collect all my bills then, that was a melt. I collected, don't get me wrong, I collected. But yeah, like, it was mad, like, I literally just left and that was it. It was gone, didn't come back for 2 years. But when I seen how the other half lived, it was just so eye-opening for me.
Were you boxing in Australia then? Did you start boxing again?
So what I did was, I was still in that mindset, like, that stupid mindset of, like, smoking weed, and I was going to attract the wrong friends. So I was like, I didn't want to be mates with anyone. I just went over, and I'm a real people person, I love being friends with everyone and that. But I was like, the mindset I was in, I knew, every people that bumped into, they all smoked weed. Especially in Australia as well, they can all grow out there and think. But loads of people smoked weed. I was like, I don't want to hang around with any of this. You know, like, I was deliberately, like separating myself from everyone, because I was like, I'm not leaving that to get away from that. I'm not starting that shit here. I came there to start a new life and to work and to be, like, a nice human being, like, you know, pay taxes and shit. So I went over there and I had a different mindset, and I stopped smoking weed, stopped everything, and I went to the gym one of the days, because the only nice people that I ever met was always around the boxing gym, the nice legit people. So I went to the boxing gym. I think I was working at KFC at the time, and on the way home, someone was telling me there's a boxing gym on the way. So I just went in, and there was a kid there sparring. He was lightweight, and he was training for his 4th professional fight. And he was sparring this big tall fella, like, and I was like, I said to trainer straight, I was like, what's he doing sparring him? Like, at home you have spars all over the place, you know, everyone your own size and whatever, and you have loads of them. He said, no, he just has no one to spar, you know, he's training for a professional fight and blah 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 blah. I said, I'll come in on Wednesday. This was like Monday. I was like, I'll come in on Wednesday and spar him if you want. And he says, yeah, what do you say? Are you any good? I was like, I'm alright, like, I can handle myself. But I wasn't at the boxing for about 2 years at this stage. I was like, I'm alright. Came in Wednesday and battered him 4 rounds. I was at him smoking weed, and I was unfit as anything. Went in and played with him, like, and he was training for a fight. So your man was like, Jesus, you said you were alright, you're fucking good. And I was like, yeah, I'm alright. Like, in Irish standards, like, I won an all oil, 1, 2 all oils and that, I'm alright. But I only boxed for 3 years, you know. You have kids bleeding boxing since they're 10, have like 11, 12 all oil. So for me, I just, in my head, I was like, I'm alright, like. But he just said,
go back then a sec then. So when you done the 2 All Irelands, was that unheard of then?
Yeah, because I started at 15.
Yeah.
It was like youth 1, youth 1, youth 2, I think. So it was like 15 and 16, or 16 and 17, I won 2 All Irelands. Which, like, look, I said, you have kids winning All Irelands since they're 10. So it was a bit mad. Like, the fella that I beat in I think it was the semi-finals or something. He had like 4 Irish titles at the time, and he was on the Irish team and all, and he was expected to go and do this, that and the other, and I battered him, like, you know what I mean?
Fucking hell.
It was mental, it was, yeah. It was crazy.
Did you work in KFC?
Yeah, working KFC, best job I ever had. I am not messing, KFC was deadly.
What did you do?
I used to work with this fella Jovan. He was a Maori, and he was cool as fuck. Like, he used to be always rapping. He used to be rapping Tupac and Biggie and all. He was in the back, and he was the chef doing all the chicken, and I used to be rapping the burgers. And then the boss stopped letting us work together because he just start. He'd be just like 50, and I'd be like, oh, Bentley, and then he'd start, and we just go back and forth. It was deadly. He used to do it to loads of different songs. Now he was deadly. He was mad at the rap, and so was I at the time. And yeah, it was mad. So then they stopped letting us work together, but he was cool as. It was one of the best jobs I ever had.
That was one of the questions, you know, what was one of his best jobs he's had when he was younger? That was one of the questions I asked. So I put on my Instagram today. I was speaking to you.
Yeah.
Someone said, what was one of the best jobs he's had?
Really?
Would that have been it, would it?
And I've had mad jobs. Look, I worked as a painter. I loved that job too, because the fella that was he was my sparring partner in the gym. And he taught me how to paint and all. Probably we were doing painting and decorating. And like, I remember times playing, us getting down from ladders and all. I was showing him this, showing him that move and that move. And I remember that some old woman came in, she was about 16, she goes, Jesus, I'd love to be a fly on the wall and see what you was going up to when I'm not here, because I was showing him moves when she was there. And we're here painting that kitchen. But yeah, I worked in mad jobs, scaffolding, blading, building like the marquees and all, you know, for all the festivals and all that sort of stuff. That was a deadly job too.
Mate, they cost a fucking fortune, don't they, to have in there?
I was getting like 22 quid an hour or something like that working on that.
Really?
In Australia, everything's good money. I was getting like 16.50 for KFC. It was a deadly job. No, I hate the boss. She was a melter, she was. But they had 3 different bosses. One of them was cool. He had like a bald head, had tattoos on his head. He was the bleeding manager. Like, he used to come to me boxing and all. He was cool as, but he used to let me and Javan sing and stuff. It was fucking deadly.
And mate, does the chicken come as it, like, literally, like,
it comes as chicken,
and you have to put the batter on it?
Yeah, that's what he was doing. He had to put all the spices and the batter and all that on it, and then he'd fry it and do whatever. But yeah, that's a good job. Like, so it is actually chicken quarters. You're actually getting real chicken. It doesn't come in all that breaded stuff. The chefs do it in there. And I don't know what they do over here, but over there, that's what they done. Yeah, it was real chicken. You don't want to know how the gravy is made, but mate, a wrecked gravy for me, whatever. I probably had one gravy since, but I used to love that. I used to drink that bleeding gravy until I worked there, and I was like, never again.
Really?
Yeah.
I've not been to KFC for fucking years.
Yeah,
man.
I haven't to be fair, actually, in a long time.
So it was a whopper job though. I had a professional fight, right? And
what was the standard then, like you're saying? You're going about to tell us about your professional fight, but what was the standard in general going into the gyms? Were you just like, I am worlds above these?
Yeah. It was deadly. I felt like a king in there. Like, woo! I was smoking joint on the way to the gym. I was still battering people. Don't be mad, I still dabbled, because you have to pass a drug test when you first got over to get me job. And when I had my job, then I didn't care. I mean, I started smoking.
You have to pass a drug test to get into the country?
To get a job, yeah. No, not to get into the country. You can get into the country, but to get a job, 90% of jobs over there, you need to pass a drug test.
No shit.
Do you know what? It was actually dangerous because they used to sell this, no in them legal shops. They used to sell this mad stuff, mate. It was like heroin, I swear to God. It was legal, yeah, but you used to smoke it and you used to go into a different world. The thing was fucked up about. Like, I remember smoking it, but like, I was drinking at the time. I was in a bar and I rolled a joint, 3 or 4 of these fellas. This was like when I started, was like, I need to get away from all it, because I still was dabbling, don't get me wrong, when I first got over. Because I was hooked on the stuff, you know what I mean, when I went over. So this was my way of getting off it. But mate, the first time I ever tried it, I was saying to your man, I was like, I'm been smoking weed years. Like, so give me some strong shit. So we give me the real strong stuff. Worst thing I ever done, mate. It was in a cuckoo land. I was in a walking through a bleeding, like a kid's museum. Just because I had a moped, and I was like, I can knock it on that moped, I'll kill myself. Like, I walked around for about an hour, out me bleeding head on this mad stuff, and that was legal. I was like, geez, that shit's illegal. That was dangerous.
What was it? You had no idea?
I forget what it was called. It was mad stuff, but it was mad.
It wasn't
addictive
spice
as well.
or anything like that?
It was it was like a scented thing. You're not supposed to
like a
inhale
synthetic cannabis.
Yeah, it was like a synthetic cannabis that they sold like in all the sex shops and all. They sold it. But Jesus Christ, was mad fucking stuff. I'm not even messing. I'll never forget it, because I remember I smoked it. You used to put, like, literally, I'm not messing, like a grain, like about 6 grains, and you'd put the joint out about bleeding 6 or 7 times. You'd have like 3 puffs. And you're like, nah, that must be the nicotine, you know, it's a nicotine. Once you have another hit, you're like, whoa, we need to put that out, I'm getting fucked up. I'm not messing. Your whole back, you'd get like fuzzes, like it'd feel like a hot fuzz coming up your whole back. I'll never forget it because I was like, that's dangerous. That's not right. That shit. It was mad, getting sweats and I'm like, what the fuck is that? It was out of me up. Tommy Mann was deadly. I was on it for a while. Like, mad addictive stuff. It was more addictive than cannabis. Cannabis is good shit. I have a cannabis company now, Re-Up Worldwide. So anyone's watching, go on to Re-Up Worldwide. So
Do you actually? Yeah.
I used to sell it illegally. Now I'm all legit, motherfuckers. Can't touch me.
Yeah, because you can sell legally in Spain, is it?
No, so we have they're in the middle of doing a pharmaceutical company, a big huge fucking for pharmaceutical and stuff like that. So it's going to be pharmaceutical grade. So we will be supplying to like the doctors and that for like cancer patients and whatnot.
Oh wow,
Mate,
so
that's
it's
quality.
major now, you know what I mean?
Mate,
So
it's a huge industry, isn't it? Obviously CBD and stuff like that, but the actual cannabis.
Yeah.
Mate, I didn't realise in Israel it's legal, cannabis, which
so
is one of the...
should be.
Yeah.
We have cannabis receptors in our brains, mate. Like, so in our bodies we have cannabis receptors. So our bodies actually should be getting cannabis. I don't care what anyone says. It was the paper industry that made it all like a bad thing. You know what I mean? Because it grows quicker than obviously the trees, and it's so much tougher and harder than the trees.
Hemp.
So the hemp, hemp. So the hemp industry was like starting to boom in America at the time, and all the paper industry was like, "Oh, we can't have this. We're investing millions into this paper industry." So basically, they wrote about it all on the papers, and like social media today, wherever you see monkey did, a lot of people like when they're writing about all this like coronavirus and it's just all in your face. So that's where the actual name cannabis came from. It was hemp at the time, and then they started legalizing it and saying like, "Oh, these immigrants are using this cannabis and start making it into a horrible thing." But cannabis and hemp is really good stuff. You know, we should all be eating it in fucking salads and shit. Like,
Mate, we had a guy, I've spoke about this before, we had a guy called Neil Woods on the podcast who used to be an undercover police officer and now literally just calls for the legalization of everything, mate. Cocaine, heroin, cannabis.
Really?
Yeah. In pharmacies, so it's
showing
managed.
testament, mate, the fella.
Yeah, but fucking, I don't know about cocaine and pharmacies. You'd have queues out the door, and it won't because of coronavirus not letting you in. It'd just be a queue.
But mate, he said exactly what you said, and because the Mexicans, because it was a whole immigrant thing of Mexicans coming over the border, and so in America they they try. That's why they call it marijuana is because it's a Mexican sounding.
To get people against it. So basically, it's a rife up racism. It'd be like those Mexicans, they're smoking this weed and they're doing this and they're doing that.
Yeah, they're going all crazy and mate, honestly, it's one of the world's oldest medicines, and it's a crime that people, mate, in America, we talked about this last week. In America, people have got life sentences for smoking cannabis.
I know, and yet you can go and buy it in a shop if you can't sleep. Or you can't, like in certain states in America, you can buy it out of the shop, but yet there's people getting locked up for life because they got caught 3 times with it.
3 times,
It's ridiculous,
it's fucking crazy. That
it's mad. And then like the thing is, like they always give it all that stats about like blacks. There's way more blacks in prisons over in America, and you're like, they smoke weed, and so they should. Like weed, everyone should be smoking weed. Cause this fella got caught with bleeding a 50 bag 3 times, he should not be in prison. Yeah, you know what I mean? I don't care. And when you're from them slums and you're from those like lower kind of project buildings, mate, you need something to, like, I done it myself, you need something to blank out the shit that you're seeing day in, day out. You know what I mean? And the thing is with cannabis, I've never started a fight in my life on cannabis. Like, I've never started a fight full stop, but I've been in many fights when I was on alcohol. Alcohol is one of the biggest killers going, and that shit's legal. Smoking cigarettes, like, if I smoke a pure blunt, I don't want the blunt tomorrow. Maybe I will, but like, you know what I mean? But because I want it, not because I'm addicted to it. But you smoke a joint mixed with tobacco, you want a joint tomorrow mixed with more tobacco. Like, I remember when I first started getting off in Spain, or not Spain, in when I was in Australia, and my uncle that was over there, I was training for me second fight? No, it was my first professional fight. I was at the Quinton for a while. But I remember I wanted a joint. No, it was after I had my first professional fight. And it was after that. I didn't want to go back on smoking joints. So I started smoking just pure blunts, like just little one skinners, you know. And whatever was, I didn't even care for the weight. I didn't want that. I wanted the joint that they were smoking. I was like, this is not doing it for me. But if I had one drag off the joint that they were smoking because it was mixed with tobacco, I was craving the tobacco.
That's what you were,
craving for the tobacco. Yeah. And even though like I was happy that I was even smoking, you know what I mean? But I was like, it's not the same. It's not the same. I need that. I want that tobacco. Mate, tobacco is so addictive, it's ridiculous.
Some of the big tobacco company, like through my work, we've done some work with British American Tobacco, who own Pall Mall and a few Silk Cut, I think they own a few other big tobacco company, brands, and they're really getting into the cannabis market because they know, apart from Africa, which is a huge market for the tobacco industry in terms of selling cigarettes, they know that
the shift's going to come soon.
That the shift is going to come to cannabis. And mate, I can't get my head round that. Obviously, it's illegal now in this country, and I don't think there's ever been a time in history where something's that I've been around anyway there's been a market that's closed, and then the next day you go, it's open, and then like you've got everything that can serve it. So you've got so many industries that span off cannabis. You've got the banking industry for cannabis. You've got advertising and marketing. I know Dan Bilzerian's got a huge big Ignite. And that's
Mike Tyson now as well.
Mike Tyson, cannabis ranch, hasn't he?
Yeah, big cannabis ranch. Like if you want to see some of the stuff that we're working on now at the minute, it's massive. It's all really big. Like because we have the license now to grow THC, CBD, everything. You know what I mean? So like we have the licenses for everything. But mate, it's the best medicine in the world. I don't care what people say. Like it's more or less just uneducated. If you think cannabis is still bad today, like it's scientifically proven that cannabis is good for you. And the fact that our bodies have that receptor, our bodies wouldn't have had that receptor if it was bad for you. You know what I mean? Apparently, they talk about that shit in the Bible. You know what I mean? Apparently, it's like this one thing in the Bible they're talking about cannabis. I forget what way they word it and that. Yeah,
I've heard they talk about it. They reckon when they've told stories, they might have been smoking weed or something from it. Or
But like, you'd be so chilled and relaxed, like, you don't want to do anything else. And I loved all that. But I was working with a fella in Australia at the time, and he was from Amsterdam. And like at the time, we were all like mad about smoking weed and loved weed. And like, we were only kids, like, that was the thing at the time. And I remember saying, "Oh, you lucky bastard, you're from Amsterdam. Like I say, you were smoking all the time." He said, "Nah, mate." He says, "Like, see the way alcohol is, and like, did you drink alcohol every day?" He says, "No." He says, "Because it's legal." He says, "Just like it's like that." And he says, "I would maybe smoke a joint on the weekend. Maybe some weekends I wouldn't even smoke." And he used to smoke over there with us and that. But he was saying like, he's saying, "Nah, mate." He says, like, because it's like it's readily available there. It's not like, oh, we want it. He says, because you as a country you can't get it. He's like, you all crave it and you all want it, and it's like it's a
so true that.
He says, like, you're all bleeding mad for it. He says, we don't care for it. Like when you live there, he says, and it's just readily available. He says, we don't really care. He says, we'll do it the same way, like sociable, the way like he says sometimes we go down like and we'd be watching movies, watching whatever, and we said, oh, we go down and get 2 joints. He said we get 2 ready rolled joints and just come back up. We wouldn't even buy a bag. Just get like 2 ready rolls and we come up and we'd share it around between 4 or 5 of us. It's mad. And I couldn't. At the time, I was like, wow, you're fucking mad, man. I would have been in that shop 24/7. I used to go on, like, we went on, like, holidays over there and just smoking all weekend, booked up, like, coming back with bags, loads, like. But, like, it was just mad. I just couldn't get my head around it, but it makes sense. And the older you get, the more wiser you get. And you don't tend to abuse things that are there that you can have every day. Course, like, for me, for an example, right, sweets, like, when I'm out camp for a while and I don't care for sweets, but when I'm in camp, the minute I finish, I'm eating like a pig because I might have been withholding myself from it. So it's just such a guilty pleasure. Like, oh, give me sweets, give me everything. And you're just like a kid in a candy shop, you know what I mean? Only because you're at that, like, withholding yourself from for so many weeks. Yeah. So it's just like that. Your body gets that guilty pleasure of, oh, I'm not allowed this, but now it's so good because I can have it. Yeah, you know what I mean? So you have loads of it. But when it's there, like most people, like my missus, like, oh, that's disgusting. Like, I would never be able to eat the amount of chocolate you eat. I could sit there and like eat like 2 whole cabbage, like cream eggs, or even like a 6-pack, the cream eggs and all, or just eat like 2 boxes, like no problem. Or like a whole like egg, like, I'd eat it in one sitting, no problem.
Mate, it's mad, isn't it?
She's like, that's disgusting, but it's just mad. Like, it's
at what point though when you're in Australia though, when you have your fight and that, at what point then did you start thinking, I need to take this a bit serious then, if you're smoking weed still on a little bit? And you
imagine what, my 2 professional fights I smoked weed, my 3rd fight I smoked weed as well, and then I went up. So I told the story. They asked me one time, I fought this fella called Declan Gardy, and I went back to Ireland for my sister's wedding, and then I just continued training. And do you know what actually happened? So I had a conversation with my little sister. We were in my kitchen in my family home. My dad wasn't really living there. He was getting with this other girl, and that he was having a baby, and that he was living up in her house mainly. My sister had I think my nephew was 1.5 at the time, and the kitchen had a hole in the floor. And when the washing machine was gone, it was like boom, the whole fucking floor was shaking. I was thinking, that's just gonna fall through any minute, like, and it was a nice little drop, you know what I mean? My dad had a huge wooden sheet over it, like plywood, like just over it. And I went down, I couldn't believe it. Like so one half of the house was perfectly fine that you could live in because it was basically built they couldn't get planning permission or whatever before we bought it. They couldn't get planning, so they built a whole new house onto the back of it. But one half was like the old house. Like I ripped down all the door frames and had 1910 and your man's initials on the door frame. You know what I mean? So it was ancient old. Like, but I had to get a leak in the gaff and all, so it was all damp. And I couldn't believe it. Just my family home when I come back from Australia. And I was like a paint and decorator over there. I was thinking, I'll come home and I'll help my sister out. I'll give the thing a paint. When I got home, I was like, fuck, this doesn't need a paint. This needs a demolishing job. You know, I was fucked up. Like, so I actually cried. I was sitting there with my sister. I was like, I can't believe you've been living in this. You've been fucking living here. Like, what the fuck? Like, she was saying, yeah, this, and she was telling me the whole story. So I actually stood there and I cried with my little sister, my baby sister, and I was like, I'll change this for us. Trust me, I'll change this for us. And then throughout the whole bleeding law of attraction, I said to her, I said, come to the gym with me tonight. I guarantee you I get sick at least twice. And she was like, you're mad. Went to the gym, pushed myself so hard. I was smoking weed still at the time, but pushed myself so hard, vomited me ring up twice. I was in the middle of getting sick in the book. I was like, fucking told you. Told you. But for her, I couldn't have took myself out of the equation. I then done it for her. 3 weeks later, I get a phone call. And I was, don't be wrong, I was still smoking weed, so I shouldn't have been, but I was. And 3 weeks later, I get a phone call to fight Declan Garrity in the Tree Arena. Matthew Macklin's coming back to Dublin. Blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh yeah, no problem, I'll fight, no problem. I only had two fights. I was like, I've nothing to lose. You know what I mean, this is on TV and all, like Sky Sports coming to Ireland. Lovely, no problem. So big rigmarole about this. This fella was like 10 All-Irelands as an amateur, great blade, and he battered me in sparring one day as an amateur, like, you know, because he was like 2 years old and he just literally skilled me as an amateur. But I didn't care. I was like, fuck it. I was like, I'm just going to go to war with this fella. So I stopped smoking weed. That's when I stopped smoking weed for them, like a few weeks that I was training. But I took on like 4 weeks notice or something.
How old are you now?
At the time I was 20. I'm 28 now.
No, yeah, it's 20 then. 20,
I'm 28 now.
Yeah.
I was 20 at the time. No, sorry, I was 21 at the time.
So it's not that long ago, really, is it?
No, really not that. I have a very short career. Like, so I boxed from 15, 19, I left for Australia, and then I had my 21st in Australia, and not long after that I came home. So I was 21, but then he got disqualified because he hit me with headbutts and all. I went to war with him, took him to war, and he wasn't expecting such a hard night, so he ended up getting annoyed and was hitting me with elbows, hitting me with headbutts and all. So he ended up getting disqualified, and the winner gets on the prize fighter, don't he? So I got on the prize fighter, 14-1 underdog, couldn't believe it. Fucking went, beat Stephen Foster, beat Gary Buckland and Michael Devine, one prize fighter, 14-1 underdog. Everyone in the whole place won a fortune on me. So I was at the stopping smoking weed up to that stage. It was like 6 weeks or 7 weeks off smoking weed. One prize for three fights in the one night, 3-minute rounds. Basically like amateur fights, you know. But I was only kind of out of the amateur scene not that long. So that was sweet for me. These lads are used to doing 10 rounds and all, so they were all slow and shit. I was like, bam, bam. It's good, won the fight, 39 grand. I came back with it. I was like, I made it. So I put like 25 grand into the house, and they've done the house up lovely now. The house is the bollocks, you know. So that's one of the best investments that I ever done, because it was my family home, number one, and number two, my sister has a beautiful place to live. Like I had a hole when I seen the gaff. I had a hole in the roof. There was 2 slates broken. And my dad was there putting a blade in, you know, one of the big blue barrels. You know, like a big huge blue barrel.
Yeah.
And I was just sitting underneath the fucking thing and I was catching water and he was just emptying it every now and again. It's fucked up, like the place was wrecked. I went to just punch the wall and like all the blade and things just crumbled. It's like, fucking hell, my sister was living in this gaff. You know what I mean? Like with mold on the roof and all, but anyway, changed that whole.
That's fair play to you, man. That's great. That's
mad story. We went a few books when I'm finished. Make a fortune,
mate. When I did an interview once with Barry Hearn, and he said that one of the first things he always tells fighters is to invest it in a house, something that if it all goes Pete Tong and shit hits the fan, you can look back and go, "That at least I got that."
At least I got that for sure.
Yeah.
Because I spent my money on loads of stupid things, but I done that house up for her, which was great. I have a house now over in Marbella, which is great. And then I have by 2030 and one of my goals as well. I have 10 rental properties, so I should have that as well by the time I'm 30.
So, mate, with the goals then you're writing down, are you changing it year by year, or are you just adding to it and then? Or is it just, have you got like a set time period for the...
I always have a set time period. So the thing is, you need to write your goals and then you need to write by when. Write the date, the exact date. Because, like just for an example, if you say, I'm going to do this, and you have to feel it as well, because if you put them emotions in, like if you just read words, you're just reading words. Basically, even these books, if you read the book, it's basically just like reading the manual. You know what I mean? If you read how to make something but don't actually make it, then it's no good actually reading that manual. You need to read the book and you need to put all the stuff into practice. But you need to feel it. It's telling you. You need to have faith. You know, you need to actually see these things. Close your eyes at least once a night and visualize these things. And until you can actually visualize and see that chunk of money or see that boat or see them 10 rental properties, you have to feel it and already imagine that you're in possession of it. That's the whole trick, you know what I mean? It's like, that's some of the things that the secret half left out as well. It does say read your goals and all, like write your goals down and write your thing, but it doesn't kind of go into specifics on how to have faith. This has a whole chapter on faith, you know what I mean? It has a whole chapter on why you should have faith and the energy that it sends off, because at the end of the day, we're all like vibrating human beings, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we're all, if you look in a microscope on my hand or whatever, or like
energy,
an infrared, you'll see all the heat in the infrared, you'll see all the energy waves, you know what I mean? It's mad, it's mad. Even though you can touch all these things, but it's like we're all energy, and like everything that's in this room right now was someone's idea at some stage.
Yeah.
Think of that, like, think how bizarre that is.
Yeah.
We now are getting video recorded, like, you know what I mean, microphones that can spread all over the world, whether you're in Africa or you're in bleeding Australia or whatever, and they can hear what we're saying. We're in England. Like, think of that. The first fella who said that, I'm sure, oh, we can send this electrical fucking thing up in the sky signal. People were like, you're mad. He actually, it says that in one of the books that I was reading, that they I think they signed him into a mental home and all. The first fella who done telecommunication or something like that,
like telephones
and all, and he said they signed him in, all his mates signed him in and all. Fucking guy's a blading millionaire, he was smart as fuck. Thank God for him, you know what I mean? Because look at the technology that we have today. But like, think of that, like the signal on your phone, where's the internet? Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not there. So why not believe in all these things? Why not have faith? Like people think because you can't see it, it's not there. But you can't see Wi-Fi. Now when you go to the Starbucks or whatever and you're clicking on the Wi-Fi thing, you just know there's an internet code. You can't see that, but you know it's there. You know you get internet. You know then you can Google stuff and you can. That's there. You know, so there is signals coming there. So the whole concept of writing your goals down is that you can see it, you can visualize it.
Do you separate it by like wealth, family, or is it literally just a section of?
I don't just write a whole paragraph on something. I always write like, I, Jono Carroll. This is like a statement almost. I, Jono Carroll, will have 200 million euros by the time I am 50 years old. There's my statement. 12th of April, when I'm 50. If I don't have 200 million, I haven't hit my mark. You know what I mean? And then underneath that, it's like, why? Because I can. Have faith. Believe in yourself. Why? Because anything you put your mind to, you can achieve. So you need to know, I can do this shit. Like, it doesn't, it's like, but have faith. Faith is everything. You know what I mean? Like, when shit starts going wrong in your life, why is it then you only pray? Why is it then you're like, oh, please, ma, fucking look down on me, help me here. You know, only when shit goes wrong. But now we do that shit every day. Like, so I put myself in the right mindset every day. But the thing is, to get it in your subconscious mind, so your subconscious, a lot of people probably don't even understand this, but your subconscious mind is like, see when you jump in a car, you don't have to say, oh, I'm going to put it in first and second and third, like when this rev gets to this. But at the very start when you drove that car, you did. You know what I mean? When you go on a bike, you wobbly and all. No, but your subconscious mind now, it's just like the automatic every day-to-day thing. So I read it before I go to bed, and then I listen to like it's like a hypnosis thing on wealth. Like, you are a bleeding wealthy human being. Like, you deserve, you are a millionaire now. You deserve to have money. You deserve to, because you have to really truly believe that you're this like amazing human being, that you deserve this, because we only have one life. You have one life, and believe it or not, time is ticking. That clock is ticking. Whether you want to be depressed out of your head or you want to be happy. Like, happiness and sadness, it's all in the mindset.
Yeah, one life's big, isn't it?
You know what I mean?
752 million to 1, I think it is, of the chances of being a human.
Yeah, like
it's pretty fucking mental.
You're lucky just to be here. Yeah. You are blessed just to be here. Yeah. And then, like, for me to be like, even like sharing, us to be all sharing time, and this is like the energy that I feel even now. I'm hot in this room because I'm excited about the shit that we are sharing to the people. Because you never know, like, some person could look at this, some kid like who might be fucking smoking weed now and might be in the same struggle that I was in bleeding when I was 15, 16, 17 at the losing a parent. Because when I released a statement, then they actually asked me, I got a rematch with Declan Garrett, and they actually asked me in the press conference, what's the difference between you now and you when you was 4? I was like, when I first 4, I was in the middle of smoking a bong when I got the phone call by him. I was like, I deliberately didn't even answer the phone because I was stoned down my head. I was like, oh, Pascal, bollocks, not answering that. I was like, I had to wait 2 or 3 hours just to ring me coach back, and they're like, oh, I got you a fight and blah, 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 blah. So I was like, now I'm fucking meditating and all. Now I'm like, I'm meditating. Like, for me, meditating, I would have got slagged if I had been telling people back home I was meditating. Now I don't care because I'm happy with who I am, what I am, and what I'm achieving and stuff like that. Because I believe that, like, we're all full of energy and full of this fucking exciting, amazing life. You only got one life, mate. You gotta live it to the best of your ability.
You know what your dreams and ambitions though, are they boxing related? So you've got them now, because it seems like, and I'm sure as your career goes on, it gets more serious, but up to now, mate, you're fucking super talented.
Yeah.
You've got this drive, and that's come from your mum passing. But it doesn't seem at any point where you've been like, right, I'm dying to be world champion, I want to be this, I want to be that. It's been up to now the story, you know, you've up to like maybe your third or fourth fight. It's never been, boxing's been this thing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So your ambitions now changed and goal more orientated towards boxing.
Yes and no, like, because to be honest, I fell into boxing, like the whole professional game. I told you a story earlier, like I just sparred that fella and the trainer said, do you want to go pro? I was like, go pro? I was like, in Ireland you have to go to the Olympics and all to go pro. He asked me to go pro, to fight for him, basically. He asked me to go pro. I was like, yeah, okay, no problem. And then that fellow, I was in the middle of smoking a bong. I didn't really want to fight. When I got the phone call, I fought that. And then it was like, oh, the winner goes on the prize fighter. That bleeding up against disqualified. So I get to go to prize fighter. But then win prize fighter. I went home, bought myself an ounce straight away. 39 grand. They were Eddie earns money, nice on me. And I was just like, smoking the ounce, and everyone was texting me, congratulations. And the first time in my life I felt guilty for smoking. I was living in my dad's gaff at the time. I was standing out the back and I was like smoking. I was like half hiding on my dad because he was so proud of me boxing, you know. My dad's an amateur coach and that, super proud of me boxing, like. So that was the first time in my life that I ever felt guilty for smoking. And the minute you feel guilty for doing something, you know you shouldn't be doing it. That's the universe, science, whatever you want to look at. That's the universe telling you you're not fulfilling your potential here. You need to be doing something else. So that's when I said, you know, don't be wrong, I finished that ounce. I did finish that ounce, but directly after it, I stopped. I was like, boom, I'm out here now. And because I made that goal as well. Finished the minute I finished this, I'm finished now. I'm not going to smoke anything. So the minute I finished that big bag, I was like, no, I'm done now. Finished.
Mate, it's such a good way to look at it when you feel guilty about something. That it's so true, that, isn't it? In fucking everything.
Yeah, like it's
when
like,
you feel guilty about doing something like smoking weed or whatever, then the universe is telling you.
Yeah, it was the universe. It's something telling you. Like even like my last fight. Like for an example, I don't care about winning or losing a fight.
Yeah, seeing an interview, you say that.
Couldn't care less. And I was in the car home and I was like, is it bad that I don't care that I just lost that fight? Now I know I'm at taking a massive pay cut. I'm at taking a lot of shit I lost from that. Like I had like big contracts there that I was ready to sign and I lost, but I don't care if I win or losing as long as I perform at my best. That night I didn't perform at my best, so that's what I'm annoyed at, because I didn't flip. Now I trained really hard, but with so many other business things going on that like I was distracted, and I could have been 2-3% better if I hadn't been doing them blading stupid like meetings and all business meetings. And then I was speaking to my manager after and he said, listen Jono, at the end of the day, he's like, you live the good life that you're living now in Marbella and everything else simply because of boxing, not because of any of the business things that you're doing now. He says, so you have to remember that people want to be around winners. He says, you need to get back to winning ways. And that kind of woke me up, and I was like, I was falling out of love a bit with the sport, completely falling out of love. I was always like, what after boxing, fuck boxing, because I only ever done boxing to make me ma proud. I already know she's proud of me now, and now I'm putting food on the table, so now I'm like, it's great because I'm just talented at this shit. It's weird, like I don't even want to be boxing. I don't like taking a punch in the head, fuck's sake, like getting smashed up, cut the ribbons, like walking down the road, hold my baby's hand, and I look like I'm at them fighting on the street, like cut the ribbons, you know what I mean, all swollen, and you get these L ones looking at you like, look at this little scumbag. But little did they know, I'm just putting food on my table for my baby, you know, like. But for me, boxing just came knocking at my door. Like now, don't be wrong, I do have wrote as one of my goals, I will be world champion in 2021. And I still believe I'll be world champion in 2021, regardless of anything else. Let's say at the end of the year, my world champion, me personally, I believe I will be. But because of stupid coronavirus, definitely put a halt to things. Because if I hadn't took that stupid fight, I was right in contention for a world title fight. You know, I took that fight because I just wanted to stay busy. Now I had a little bit of an injury after the quick fight, so I maybe shouldn't have took that fight. But I was like, fuck it, it'll be alright, whatever. So I didn't really care. But realistically, looking back now, it was the universe giving me a sign. I genuinely believe, I still actually think I won the fight, but I genuinely believe that was the universe giving me a sign to be like, cop the fuck on me here. You have an opportunity to be world champion, to hit that goal that you have wrote down, but they're getting distracted with all these sort of bleeding nonsense. And that's what it is. I'm at the dropping loads of them business things. I don't care about money and all that shit. Like that fella texts me, oh, do you want money for a thing? I was like, nah, mate, I'm good. Money doesn't...
Yeah.
A wealthy man is a man that doesn't need anything. Like, I don't need that. And my missus was like, you're fucking a nightmare to buy for. I'm like, well, I don't want that. I'm good. Like, I don't care about how much money. I want 200 million to give my family 200 million. To, like, live a great life, to go on a boat. And, like, create more experiences, create more like amazing times spent with my family. Because money doesn't mean shit to me, even though 200 million would be nice, wouldn't it? It'd be nice. Don't be wrong. But I just want that 200 million to be able to give back. Go over the blade in Africa and build a lot of houses and fucking help a lot of people like that. I want 200 million to go and give back and help a lot of people and do amazing things and leave a bit of a legacy. That's what I want 200 million for. I don't care about money. Genuinely, do not care about money. As long as I can put food on the table and a roof over my family's head, I'm good. But I do want to travel when I finish boxing. You know what I mean? So I love traveling, I love seeing the world. Like, what's the point in living in the same country? You might as well be bleeding born in a wardrobe if you live in the same country your whole life. You know what I mean? That's the way I look at it.
Yeah, 100%, mate. Was the Quigg fight, which was literally just before fucking lockdown, wasn't it? Really, you were so lucky.
It was like 4 days or something.
Yeah, we were talking
days.
about it in the car, weren't we?
Mad, yeah.
Was that one of your proudest fights? Then do you think?
Yeah,
or, yeah.
Because you know what it was. I remember another one of my goals, like, and I wasn't even on Law of Attraction at this stage, but I remember sitting there and seeing in that same stadium, seeing Scott Quigg. I was fought on the undercard, didn't I? So I had like a 4-rounder or something, and I remember seeing Quigg knock out Kiko Martinez in that same arena, and I wasn't even like ringside, I was sitting fucking miles away. Eddie Hearn gave me shit seats. Told you he didn't like me. I was sitting miles away, I was, and yeah, like, and I was at the fight on the undercard and all, but it was such a mad, surreal moment that former world champion, when I seen him walk in the ring, I was like, whoa, I'm here now. Because I said, I want to be in here. I'd love to be fighting the likes of him, with like Anthony Crawler and all. I was like, because Anthony Crawler wasn't lightweight at the time. I was thinking, like, I want to be in this arena, fighting the likes of these people. I want to be me topping this bill. And then, less than 4 years, Quigg was like, trying to throw at me face, like, oh, you come up to me after the thing, getting a picture. I was like, yeah. I was like, and now here I am today, mate. Do you never hear that saying, let your idols become your rivals? I was like, then you know you're doing something good. I was like, I'm going to smash you up as well. Don't worry about it. And he was fucking, he was snapping. Because I done what I said I was going to do. I told him to his face, I'm going to play with you, mate. And I went in and played him.
Mate, it was such...
I told him to his face. Every single thing I was going to do. When we done that little sit down, talk, I just spoke it into existence. That's another thing, law of attraction. You need to speak it and believe it and truly like... know what you're capable of achieving, know what you're capable of doing, and sometimes you need to speak it in order to put it out there to the universe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, how long was this Quigg fight after the prize fighter? Was it 2-3 years?
So I won prize fighter. Oh, what did I won prize fighter when I was 21 or 22? I think I won prize fighter. So yeah, this is about 5 years after the prize fighter, let's say.
Mate, we always
maybe even less. No, 4 years. 4 years, because I remember sparring. A thing come up on me thing. Karen Priestley took a picture of me. I sparred Terry Flanagan this day 5 years ago, and she was down taking pictures of me and Jazz sparring today. It was funny. So yeah, it was way after that
I was just trying to find the highlights, so it's not the full fight that we can talk through. But
does it say if you type in highlights after it?
Highlights, yeah.
See this face to face, man. I caught
mate, is it good that?
Ah, it's quality. You need to watch that. I told him every single thing I was going to do.
Just go on in a minute. Let's just watch a couple of minutes.
Yeah, watch a couple of minutes. I told this poor fella every single thing I was going to do to him. Literally.
Before you press play, it's on. When have you ever had any like real bad blood or any opponents? Have you all been professional? Or
Nah, but I always want people to just go under their skin because I like it. You know what I mean? There's never any bad blood. They asked me in an interview 2 days before the fight. They asked me in an interview, oh, that Denzel fella actually owes me that watch. I told him that. I was like, if I beat Quigg, you're going to give me that watch? And he said, yeah. We're going to text him on Instagram later on and say, yeah, mate, just said, yeah. He owes me that watch. Nice little AP he had on. That's a nice watch, that. Straight to the start. And I said to him, and I was like, if I beat him, will you give me that watch? I said it in this as well, I did, didn't I?
Mate,
so there's video footage, mate. He better be a man of his word.
I'll snippet this out and you can send it to him if you want.
Yeah, do, mate. Definitely do.
Seems to have a lot to say to each other. So I can feel the tension.
He hates me, Scott Quigg does.
Really?
Because so they asked us the same question after this, because I went and had a Philly cheesesteak with Tevin Farmer after the fight, and he says, would you go and have some food with Jono after the fight? And he goes, will I fuck? And the man asked me the same question. And I was like, yeah, of course I will. I couldn't care less, you know what I mean? I was like, at the end of the day, I'm just putting food on the table for my family. Like, there's no bad blood. I was like, yeah, of course I would. And he says, do you want to know his answer? And I was like, yeah, go on, what was it? And he says, will I fuck? I was like, ah! I was like, that just proves that I'm under his skin. Oh, it was great.
Fight game. We don't usually do this, but you seem to have a lot to say to each other, so we thought we'd get you around the table, sitting face to face.
Nice
Yes,
coat.
I do, boy. Yes, I do.
Mate, it's a nice coat, that.
You boys are going to fight each other.
I know.
But, you know, we're doing a big press conference, we're having a little talking to each other in the face. What exactly were you saying to each other?
Sometimes I like ripping out people, so.
It is what it is. Fight game.
It's great because we don't even know what it is.
Because I just say shit, you know what I mean? I just talk mad stuff.
Thought
you bought He did bought it, by the way.
Explain
I've got the exact.
The level I've already fought.
It's great because we don't even know what it is.
Yeah, so you started this, right?
Yeah, because I started at one. Let me just explain the reason I started. I thought he bottled it.
Yeah,
I thought he bottled it. Because that fight on Andy Joshua.
Fight in Saudi.
Yes. Explain because I don't
Why
know.
would I bottle?
Smash your head in. And then going on to win a
What
world
would
title.
that
What?
him think?
Feather fist. And I knocked him out in the 11th round.
Did you speak to him after it and that, did you? Or?
Yeah, I did.
Well, yeah, you can't.
Fix that now.
World title. One way or another.
You'll have to rebuild again.
I don't have to rebuild that. I'm gonna smash your head in.
You'll have to rebuild again.
Can you tell when you've been like that and you've been winding someone up? Like, can you tell when you're getting under the
See,
skin?
the thing is, I never lied.
Smash your head in.
Even this, I never lied. I said, you can only fight. Wait, what I'm saying now. I said, you can only fight. The thing is, I can do it all. I'm not trying to blow my own trumpet. My dad used to always say to me when I was a kid, you don't have to be like Prince Nassim Hamid. You don't have to be like fucking Muhammad Ali. You don't have to be like Roy Jones, like hands down, flashy. He says, if you do the basics correct, all the basics correct, then you're a good fighter. He says, he says, if you do one thing wrong, then there's a chink in your own armor, you can be beat. He says, so as long as you do all the basics correct, he said, you'll be a good fighter. So I always had that mentality. So I can box my hands down, I can box loose, I can fight, I can go on the back foot, I can do it all. Not amazingly, I can't do everything amazingly. I'm not that strong, I can't fucking knock people out with one punch. Like, I'm not amazing at a certain thing, but I can do everything decent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this is what I was telling him. I was like, man, you only can do one thing. And he can only do one thing. Quake can only fight. So I said, I'm going to outbox you. But then I said to him, I was deliberately kind of half winding him up that I was going to go to war with him because I wanted him to false believe, because I've been in wars, you know what I mean? And like, so, because a lot of times I fought boxers that I had to go to war with. So like, they were better boxers than me. Like that Declan Garrity fella, like he's just more technically better than me, but I'm a better fighter. So I was like, let's drag him into a fight straight away. And I stopped him in the 8th round as well. You know what I mean? So just because you're a better boxer doesn't mean I can't win the fight.
It's good that you're humble enough as well to acknowledge and say, well, I'm going to have to do this and do that, because
yeah. Well, that's game plans. That's why that's why some fights are down to the game plan. If the game plan's correct and you execute the game plan good, then you win fights. You know what I mean? Like sometimes I've been in against like much better people, but I was just better at one thing better than they were. So if I'm able to fight my fight and drag them into what I'm better at doing, then I will win that fight. You know what I mean? Like, even like I got a cut early on in this, and I didn't care. It's just like I come in to put a good fight on. You know what I mean? To put an entertaining fight on, and I done exactly that. And I kept saying it in the press conference. This is a coming of age to fight for me. It's like, you mightn't get it. I was like, but this is me coming of age. You know what I mean?
Did you knock him out in the 11th, did you say?
Yeah, in the 11th. I really
Do you mind if I
smashed.
wind it to just so we can nail it?
No, go ahead.
Get the 11th round up.
So I smashed. I basically really. I don't even know if I broke or not, but I really badly sprained my wrist in the 10th round. Trained it to the body and went whack with a big shot, and my whole wrist just went boom. So you see and it's the very first shot. So you see in the whole 10th round, I was like fainting it and not touching him. I was trying to like play with him and then it's hitting me right. But then my blade and jab hand was exhausted. It was already 11th round. I was already tired as it was. But then I could only punch with that hand. He was coming on strong. Like, could only punch with that hand. And then when I eventually stopped him, I punched him, and then his head was just there, and I was like, fucking just throw it. I was going whack down with the hand. That was killing me. It was. Definitely hurt me more than him. But when I hit him, he went boom and his legs started wobbling. I was like, lovely, it happened. But I was just throwing everything. I was like, just get me out of here. My hands in bits. Get me out of here. Now, please, not another round. I even kissed bleeding. What's his name?
What was you winning the fight up to this point?
I won
as well?
every round.
Yeah.
Did
Did
you?
Mills around. I
Right.
told him I was going to play him. Fia on the back of my shorts. That's my daughter's name.
Here we are. So this is the 11th round here.
Look, I was tipping with the backhand. My backhand.
So which is your broken wrist? Your left hand?
The left hand, the backhand, yeah. Look, I was still hitting with it. It was killing me, but I just didn't want to throw it and hit him in the head with it. I was just touching. Look, they're just touching. It's killing me, it was. See, that ain't close. I couldn't throw an uppercut around like that. It was mainly my jab I was using.
Where was this, John? MEN, was it?
It was in Manchester,
The arena, yeah.
What was the
Arena
crowd like
Manchester.
then for him? Was it a lot?
Yeah, I was all mainly for him, but I'm a big ticket seller, so I bring loads of people over from Dublin as well, like loads. When my blade and hand was in bits, it was. Every time I hit him, I was like, oh, just fuck off. Because I was at the win every round. I had to just keep trying, because if I didn't throw it, he would have copped on. You know what I mean? So I had to just keep tipping with it. And all that feint and all, like, just keep doing that. But at the end of the day, pain is temporary. You can go through pain. I don't care really for pain. Like, you know, just.
I can't remember who said it. Someone said pain is weak. Pain is just weakness leaving the body.
Yeah, it's a good shout. That I like that. Look at all the cannabis plants the whole way up my shorts. Oh, I mean, Canadian maple leaves all the way up me shorts because of re-up. Yeah, like mostly it was just me blading, me jab hand, me blading back was killing me.
During this point, are you thinking, I've won every round?
Every round,
yeah.
comfortably. There it is, there. That shot there, got him. Boom. I just had to keep hitting him with it, look at. Killing me, the bastard.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, my hands in bits.
Is your missus there as well in the crowd?
Yeah, there she is, there, the blonde one at the back. There, look, stand up. I was thinking, will you just fuck off, man? Just go down. My hand fucked out.
I just threw the towel in.
But from round 8, I was destroying him. I just started destroying him because I told him I was going to stop him in round 8.
What did you say to Joe then?
What?
In the corner?
I was like, good man, that was a good shout, but I was just so happy I kissed him because my fucking hand was so sore. Thanks, Joe, my wrist was in bits there, mate. But yeah, it was a good show. Because let's be real, I literally bet him from pillar to post that whole fight, clicking any round, and there's never a time, clicking any the middle of that fight, there's never a time that he was troubling me. Like, I came out of that with not a mark on me. Literally, I had a cut on my eye because we clashed heads early on. He hardly done that. And I don't drink after fights because now you're taking head clashes now, you're taking bleeding punches to the head. I always think, like, imagine drinking and slurring your words on that, and people just thinking you're drunk. Because my granddad died that. Like, my granddad had 3 or 4 points, and he went down and sat on the wall. But he was having a heart attack, wasn't he? And he had the keys in his hand. He was gonna, like, he left the pub. He's like, something wrong here. So he was obviously panicking. So he went out and he was slurring his words and all. He was having a fucking heart attack. And then the blade and the fella in the pub put him in the back of his car. And he fucking died in the back of his car.
Fucking hell.
This was only about 2 years after my blade uncle and all that died. But
mate, it's so funny you mention that because I was about to ask if do you have a drink afterwards? Because
it's pretty dangerous. Apparently.
Mate, we Paddy, the baddie MMA fighter, and he did go out. He goes out, doesn't he? Afterwards,
he
goes out and stuff. Because but I was thinking that exact same thing. Head injuries, mate, and alcohol.
Mate, like we've ended up in hospital twice from and got brain scans and all. Like, I had to, like, cause just to see, because I was not bust up, but I always clash heads and that. Fucking 1 or 2 times, like, I always empty the tank. I always give it my all in boxing. So 1 or 2 times, like, I've finished the fight and my body just go into shock, like shaking, shivering and freezing cold. Because the bastards make you do a drug test as well. So a lot of times I sweat a lot. So you'd be dehydrated to bits after a 12-round fight. So the arsehole making you do the drug test is always like, drink up, because he just wants to get out of there. So you're always drinking up and you're putting cold water into your body that's roasting hot. So all of a sudden it's a shock to the system. And then my body went into, like, I was shaking, I just couldn't stop it, shivering. And once that starts happening to you, your body's basically going into shock. It took me to the hospital twice, mad, like, headaches and all that. I had to, like, get brain scans and stuff.
Jesus, yeah.
It's mad, like, you think, your boxer, he's going to get well looked after. I often went in and been fucking left sitting there for 6 hours before you get seen. It's mad.
It is.
Really, don't care. Like, the ambulance drops you off, like, from the arena. I got dropped off one time. What was it? It was in Sheffield. Got dropped off to just one of the hospitals, And one of the fellas that was at the fight, he was either going out on a mad night out and all. And then he got battered and he was like cut to bits and whatever and he had to get stitched up. And they all rocked him. He was like, oh, Jono Carroll, what are you doing here? I was like, fucking sitting here since the fight, mate. These were like going out on a bender, all nightclubs and all that. And then they got seen like 2 minutes after I got seen. They were like basically.
So they've been to your fight, watched you,
watched
on
me.
a night out.
Came and seen me in the hospital a few hours later.
Hell.
And I'm still sitting there in the bleeding waiting now. Me and the missus actually ordered Domino's and all they did. They're starving after the fight.
That is crazy.
Had to order
to think
Domino's
that.
and all.
Like,
Mad.
Why is it not like the likes of Eddie Earn who's fighting? Why are they not whoever's show it is? Surely that's
Yeah, like the ambulance and the doctors bring, so they bring you to the hospital, but you know, like VIP, you know, get looked after when you go to the
Really?
hospital. No, don't care.
surely
Mate.
you'd think that there was a. I'm not saying that you should get
Well,
preference
that's
over
what I'm
somebody
saying.
who's fucking
No,
got it in a car crash.
surely you should.
But surely there's.
No, like surely you would think that.
Yeah.
At least, or you would think whatever. I don't know. You send you to a private hospital, for an example,
Yeah,
or whatever.
yeah.
But now it's
or
happened
they've at
twice.
least got people on standby and to say,
Yeah.
look, you're going to get a couple of lads coming in tonight or
Yeah.
something, possibly.
But look, you get people on standby. Like the ambulance comes in with you and says, "Oh, this, that, and the other." Tell them the reason, and
That's
then they're like,
fucked up, that,
"Okay, no
man.
problem. We'll see him now." They write you down, sit there in the waiting room and wait fucking 5 hours till you're seen. I remember the next day I got back. Kid Galahad was up. He fought in the same card. It was the same night that I seen all them fellas and the thing. I was at the rocking in from the arena the night before. Got the Domino's and all. Got eventually seen to hours later. Like I came back at I was like 6:30 in the morning. Kid Galahad was up having his breakfast and was going back to the gym. He was going down to the gym as I was coming in from the hospital. Mad like. Didn't even sleep all night, and then I had to jump on a plane. Then about like 3 hours later, had to get on a plane back to Spain. It's mad, man. Like it's mad. I got told that very smart man that boxing is a game of pimps and prostitutes, and unfortunately we are the prostitutes, and no one gives a fuck about us. And it is like that. Unfortunately, it's like that. You never seen a boxer with bleeding a garden. The back size is the size of Eddie Hearn's back garden, did you?
Very true.
You know what I mean? You just don't.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
this boxing game, we are like dogs, mate. Stitched up. I've often got. I remember getting. I got a core here, and a bleeding 6 staples. I got me for it. No even painkiller, no nothing. Just in the back room, they stitched me up. No painkiller, no nothing. Now I got painkillers. They shot painkillers in my eye, but the staples, no painkiller, no nothing. That should have been something. But he literally put my head together like this, squeezed it, and put a stapler on me for it. I was like, the bleeding pain. I was like, what the fuck? And then one of them jammed. He was like this, and I was like, mate. I was like, are you fucking real, doc? I felt like killing him. I did. My hands were so sore. But it just jammed in my head, and you had to take it out, and then with the bleeding tweezers, you had to pull the thing back out, and then staple in the exact same spot. Fucking
Mate,
mental.
who was that you just mentioned? Who was that? Was it a family member who had a heart attack in the back of the car?
Yeah, it was my granddad.
Was it? Yeah, yeah.
Granddad, yeah.
Yeah, you just reminded me of a story. Just on that point, my missus's sister, her husband, is like allergic to prawns, and this was on New Year's Eve. This is what you just reminded me of the story.
So
And
hold on.
I thought I'd tell it.
This
to
is
you.
the day after New Year's Eve.
No, this is on New Year's Eve at 11 p.m.
Right.
Everyone's partying and everything.
Yeah.
He has an allergic reaction. He's eating like a prawn, like a side dish
Hill
of prawn.
pill or something,
Yeah, it's just a prawn thing.
Yeah.
Has it. Goes, fucking hell, I feel awful.
sick,
I feel
yeah.
awful, really, really bad. Walks outside, collapses, obviously has an allergic
Yeah,
reaction, but
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
know he was allergic to it.
Jesus.
She was trying to call a taxi, but taxi drivers were stopping because they thought it's
drunk.
New Year's Eve.
He's gonna get sick of me.
No one's going to fucking pick. Yeah,
Yeah,
literally
yeah.
screamed trying to get a taxi.
Wow.
Luckily managed to get a taxi driver who just wanted to pull over. Said he's having a fucking allergic reaction. Get him in, drove him. Luckily he survived.
Wow.
Just remind me on that.
Yeah, your man put. So we got a phone call. And it was like, oh, your granddad's in this pub down in Finglas. He'd been drinking. He went in and he was at the graves because it was his son that died. My uncle, it was his son that died. And he went in, seen the grave, and he came back and he had actually a point with my other granddad from my ma's side. Funny enough, and they didn't drink in years. It was real weird that he went back to, because we were at all moving out Dublin. We went to moving out Finglas. It's real weird. He went back into the same pub. And they used to kind of always go to it and that. And then met my other granddad there. He had a few pints. And yeah, like my other granddad's like an alcoholic. Like he drinks a lot, you know. And he obviously, he must have thought he was just leaving because he can't keep up, you know. So he just, when he left, he was like, oh, I'm gonna leave. But he said, like, I swear to God, he only had like 3 or 4 points, but he left and he was sitting on the wall, and the barman seen him. The barman was putting the bins out or something, seen him sitting on the wall after being in the pub, and thought, he's locked. So took his keys off, and he was obviously like, he was slurring his words, and he says he was just, because I went with me nanny the next day, and I was like, what the fuck happened? Because no, it was a week or two later actually, because we got the whole when the death thing came out, like, you know, it was bleeding, whatever. They basically said, no, he had a heart attack, that's what he died from. But yeah, your man put him in the back car, and I said to your man, what the fuck happened? Like, and he said he was sitting on the wall and he was slurring his words. I thought he was just drunk, so I put him in the back. He tried to drive, he was getting in the car, he had his keys in his hand. He said, so I put him in the back seat of his car to fucking go to sleep. I thought he was just going to sleep it off, wake up in a few hours, and that was it, you know what I mean? He says, we see shit like that all the time.
Yeah, mate, so
I was like, yeah, no, fair enough, I get that, like, but yeah, he fucking then
around alcohol, so much stuff, yeah, like that
Go wrong,
happen.
can't
It can
it,
really
stuff,
go
yeah.
wrong. What are you like then? If you're if you've got like there's addictive personality in your family, what are you like with alcohol then? Do you completely not have it, or is it?
So I was mad. I was like one of them. I never ever drank because it boxed so much, and I'm not. I like, even as a kid, like I was always like a stoner and not a drinker. You know, you're either one or the other. Like when you're growing up, like I was always just a stoner. So I never really drank too much when I was a kid. But my mom used to always say, like, don't fucking get into hardcore drugs. Don't do this, don't that, because like you'll end up, because the mind is very fragile. You know, when you start fucking with them bleeding drugs and going on benders, like, and because they used to be always on it, like, and she used to always be kind of using my other uncles, because one of them was schizophrenic and one of them was paranoid, and they just were like mad in the head, you know what I mean? Mad fucked up shit, like. So yeah, basically, like, I never really went on it much, but then when I drank, because I never drank, when I drank I used to get fucked up, like blind faced drunk. And then loads of times my missus had to take me home in taxis and take me home, and I just couldn't remember. I woke up and I'm like, whoa, where the fuck am I? Like, you know what I mean? It's like locked. And now I don't really drink. Now when I drink, it's only my goals as well. I only drink red wine now, and for health purposes. So I only have a glass or two of red wine now. Don't drink like the way
Like just with your missus or something.
just with the missus, with a bit of food or something. Only basically, and I have it for health benefits. So it's not like go and drink 5 bottles of red wine. You know what I mean? It's not like that. So now I try as much as it. Like, don't be wrong. Sometimes it's hard. Like, unless it's an occasion or something big. Like I'll drink something else, but like very, very rarely. Don't really get messed up anymore. Even my missus doesn't drink anymore, really.
Really, yeah.
Yeah, we're both kind of like, and she's only young. She's only bleeding 26. You know, so we just don't. We're not a big drinking family. Like, I remember her friends came over to us one time, about 2 years ago, a year ago maybe, and they were like, well, what do you do on the weekend? Like, what do you do Friday and Saturday? Like, and we're like just go to the beach or like chill or go for food, or we just don't drink, like, because I'm an athlete as well, so I don't want to be drinking, and it's bad for you, like, you know what I mean? It's like, you know, the Latin word for alcohol is like is like, I forget what it was, like salt. It's like, yeah, look it up there. The Latin word for alcohol, I think it's like soul killer or something like that is what it means.
Really?
You know what I mean? Yeah, something like that. Don't hold me to that, because I just heard that in the drunken state one time. But no, actually, it was going up to my mate's thing, and it was whatever the meaning of it was, and he's a quite smart man, so I took his word on it. But yeah, it's soul killer or some shit like that.
Yeah, no, alcohol, man, it's fucking.
Man, you wake up next day and you're all jittery, and
You see so many sports people, whether it's alcohol is.
Conor Mcgregor, the mad thing. Do you see the shit he's talking about with him now at the minute?
Yeah.
No, what?
I got told their stories, but I don't know what the crack is. But basically, there's another assault charge. He's fucking getting done for sexual indecent exposure or some shit like that.
Oh, really?
He's going to be on holidays with his missus and that, and yeah, he's fucking.
Mate, I saw on
he's
McGregor
getting done for something else stupid.
On McGregor, I saw it. I don't know how true it is. I saw an article where you had said something about.
Yeah. So that fella that I stopped, that fella who I said he's technically a better boxer than me, he's McGregor's mate, like close mates. They went to the same amateur club and that. And McGregor wrote him a palm the second time we went to fight. I gave him a rematch then a few years later. And I stopped him in the 8th round. I absolutely battered him, but I didn't look at any of the previous stuff before, because I don't like negativity creeping in and whatever. You know what I mean? So I don't look at other people's interviews and what they're saying. I don't care about other people. I just focus on me, and if I do me good, I believe I'm a world beater. I can beat anyone in the world. That's genuinely the way I think. So I don't really care what he's doing. But after the fight, someone said, "You see what McGregor said?" And I was like, "No, what?" So he sent me the link, and I clicked on your man done an interview, and basically McGregor wrote him a poem. Look up the poem, Declan Garrity there, the poem, McGregor wrote him anyway. But he wrote some gay ass poem and was like, you have more skills and you have this, that, and the other. Basically saying that he's going to win, he's going to batter me, you know. And yeah, then I seen it after, and I just texted him, I don't know what it was, I think it was Twitter. I was like, it just goes to show what you know about boxing, mate, doesn't it? Next time you want to step in the ring, I'll smash your head in for free, and all. Tagging him and everything, you know what I mean? And went on the slave, but it was good because it was all over Joe.ie and it was all over bleeding loads of things. Because I'm like one of the biggest boxers in the world, and obviously he's a bleeding superstar. So it was just funny.
How would you rate
it was
yourself
after the Mayweather thing?
If you were to fight him, how would you?
I'd batter him, but he's a lot heavier than me. But if it was a boxing match, I'd beat him. Like, it's easy work. Like, he used to spar the fella that I'd beat. And like, I'm sure my mate, I'm sure your man, he's not my mate, like, but we have beef for the world. He's already young. But I'm sure he was beating him. He was playing with him a little bit, you know. I know a lot of people who sparred him and that, but I don't know. I don't like him, and I don't like his morals. I don't like him as a person. So I'd love to fight him with smash his plate in the head.
Does that piss you off in the fact that, like, say you're a family man now, you've done a lot for your family, you know, your missus now and your little girl living in Marbella and stuff, kind of positive, and then you see someone like who's a role model from a similar area to you, and it's like, fucking hell, he's got assault charges and sexual charges and all this shit. It's
mad shit, like shit that's coming out about him. But I'm not surprised because I knew a lot of shit. I know a lot of people who hang around him. I knew people who were like in this kind of circle. I used to sell his cameraman weed back in the day. Dave the Rave, I used to call him. Is that like fella? Do you know that famous ass picture when he's standing behind McGregor's like this, and there's that big huge thing. That's Dave's photo. Like he used to live only down the road from us. I used to have a couple of bags.
Is that a Legit podcast exclusive there?
Oh yeah, say it. Tag David. David Sound. He's a nice fella. Like, but he's his cameraman. He's the fella that does all the social media stuff from all the bleeding camera work from and that. But he took that real famous photo. You know that one that gets fucking black and white, deadly photo now, in fairness. But so like I know a lot of people. I know a lot of shit that he does. I don't care because for me, with like what I was saying earlier on, with the whole law of attraction shit, I'd have no envy against any man all around. He's killing it in life. He's made a shitload of money. Fair play to him. I'm proud of him. He's Irish. I support him just for the simple fact that he's Irish. Just because I don't like his morals, I think he could be a better role model, I suppose, for the younger kids looking up to him and stuff like that. Because even me, like, I looked up to him at the start. Because when I first seen him, when he first came on the scene, he was slagging people and ripping into people, saying he's bleeding deadly because he's just a typical young fella from Dublin. That's all he is. But he is normal. Like, see the way people love him in America and they eat that shit up. He's just a normal young fella from Dublin.
Yeah,
like, he's not like.
Mate, you did
a
YouTube
of him.
You did a YouTube video where you commented on when he was in the press conferences.
Yeah.
It was quality that. It was really good.
I like him. Like I like all the stuff he's doing. I love the way because he's man into the law of attraction and all that sort of stuff himself, and saying things and speaking things and like. As a sportsman, like I respect him for what he's done and what he's accomplished and all that. I just think that maybe he could be helping. And now saying that, like he does. He's just like two different personalities, you know. Like sometimes he goes into Crumlin Boxing Club and has like an amateur. Like so, Crumlin Boxing Club does this thing on the weekends where all the amateurs, like people paying on the doors. It's real old school. People paying on the doors and like they watch different people from different clubs all spar. But it's basically like a fight. They all kill each other. And McGregor sometimes goes down because Crumlin is an old boxing gym, you know. Sometimes he goes down and like just kids off the street might be paying in, bleeding a $5 on the door or whatever, and see McGregor sparring. So like I love the fact that he does things like that. So I can't slate him for certain things, but I just think because he's such a serious role model and he's a superstar that he could be like I don't care if he doesn't give back, but I just think he could be just a more positive role model for the kids growing up. You know what I mean? Because like kids. Monkey see, monkey do, unfortunately. So when you see someone doing this and think, oh, that lavish lifestyle, that's deadly. But I know for a fact when he's out on benders for 3 days, he's not feeling good come Monday morning. You know what I mean? He comes back and his Mrs. B wants to kill him and fucking he's having murder, you know what I mean? He's not living a great life as to what it looks like on Instagram and all. Like, just because he's driving a nice car, like, I can get in a Ferrari and fucking do this, that and the other as well. But it doesn't mean I'm going to go on a bender for 3 days and have more that we miss it. That shit to me.
He came to Liverpool, he come to Aintree races, the Grand National, and he come here, mate, and end up being here for like fucking 4 days on a bender. In like house parties and everything.
Yeah, standing, I've seen the ones who stand on the cars and all that. That's what I wonder.
And then a year later, some girl come out and said that she's got his baby and everything.
Baby like, and all, all that mad stuff. Like, and let's be real, that kid's a ringer to his kid.
every night, mate, round the Grand National time, every night you were getting a fucking WhatsApp saying fucking McGregor's in this house party, he's in here, he's there. You're like, what the fuck's he there for, man? It was mad.
So we got like a lads group chat as well. We all have lads group chats, but everyone in the lads group chats, and he's the same. He's be out drinking with McGregor and all, and fucking some of them blading pictures. You should bet you his team doesn't know you got a phone on you, mate. But he never say I'm bad because he's good friends with McGregor. You know what I mean? But he actually likes McGregor a lot. But it's just mad. Like,
what do you think though, mate? With the case of like, I know you're not kind of in that now. You live away now with your missus, but have you ever kind of felt that, I don't know, after a big fight, you've ever needed to kind of have a word with yourself, or you've thought maybe you're a bit too big for your boots, or you've actually had to check yourself a bit and think, hang on, fucking hell, come on? Because I can imagine, mate, I don't know, I can't imagine what it's like, mate, to fucking beat someone in front of however many thousands of people, get paid a fucking nice little paycheck, you got your missus, everyone around you telling you how great you are.
Yeah, look, I kind of had that a little bit after Quig. I didn't, like, everyone was all, like, licking me hole and shit all over, like, people want to do loads of business with me and loads of this, that and the other. But, like, I'm one of them that I don't feed into that shit. My dad used to always say when I was a kid, like, you don't want yes men around your son. I keep my circle very close, very small, and my missus will tell me exactly the way it is. If I think I'm a hard man going out for 2 days, she'll put me in check. she's a queen, like, you know what I mean? She doesn't be taking no shit. Like, she's fucking, I need someone like her in my life. Like, whereas if I just had a girl there, and I used to say it to her all the time, because my ma sometimes could have let me dad away with a lot of shit that he shouldn't have been let away with, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not even talking about, like, cheating and all, nothing like that, but I just mean, like, some of the shit, like, things he would have said, like, now when we were growing up, because I had 4 sisters, my dad would be like, nah, you sit down here beside me, son, like, fuck that, let the girls do the cleaning. He's real old school mentality, you know?
Yeah.
Whereas I'm not like that. I'm like, I'd have to be like, do you want me to cook, babe? You go up and take that bed down, I'll cook. Like, me and her, there is no roles. Like, when we were doing the night feeds, like, I was doing one night on, one night off, you know? She'd do one, I'd do one, and I fucking loved it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't, whereas, like, I like a woman who knows what she wants, she says what she wants, and I used to say it to my missus from the day go, I was like, I never want you to be, like, even taking some of the shit that my ma took, because I lost her as well. I was like, she deserves better. You know what I mean? So I never wanted to treat me missus bad, or I never wanted. So I used to always. So my missus is really one. She's the best woman in the world. She keeps me in check. You know what I mean? I need a woman, a strong woman like that.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Because like, if I'm starting to act politics and mess up, she'd be like, "Hey, what do you think of them?" She'll pull the reins in real quick. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying it because, like, there's no boss in my family. There's no, like, oh, she this. It's not like that. It's just mutual respect. Like, and like that, I call her a queen. I'm like, I'm a king, you're a fucking queen. But you know what I mean? Every king needs a fucking queen. Like, a woman elevates a man. If your woman is a real woman, she elevates a man. You know what I mean? So, like, and then I'm also one that, like, if you treat your woman really good and, like, with a lot of respect, and that, like, that also shows what type of man you are. You know what I mean? I don't like a man that, like, half, like, when he's with the lads, he just talks bad about his missus and fuck him, blah. And then, like, he goes home and he's a little lapdog, you know what I mean? Underneath the thumb, you're like, you're a fucking bitch, mate. I'd rather tell me missus to her face and then not be happy, and she has words with me and whatever, but me and her just have pure mutual respect, because, like that thing, remember I was saying, like, we broke up for a whole year, she remained my best mate. And she, when I went to Australia, like, she was there for me, she packed me bag and all to go. And then, like, we were broke up, and I sent money home for her to come over to me to Australia. You know what I mean? Like, we were still mates, like, we weren't even with each other, and then she was over for about 2 weeks, and she goes, so, like, are you not going to ask me? I was like, ask you what? And she goes, like, they go out with you? And I was like, what? We got a good thing going here, babe. We don't need to be fucking toying myself. She was like, fuck off, you. You're going to get me from Ireland to come over here to Australia. You're fucking get with me. I was like, I'm only buzzing with you. I was only winding that up, like, but like that, you know what I mean? Me and my missus were best mates. It's not like it's just like a boyfriend, girlfriend type of shit. Like, it's we're best mates, like, you know what I mean? She's my partner in crime.
It's good, like you say, you keep your circle small as well, because you can imagine, mate, with the, like, you know, what you've got on, what you've already achieved, but also on the horizon, and too many people around you telling you how good you are too much, and
it's never good. And the thing is, like, I have a lot of people that tell me straight. Like, my dad's the same. Sometimes I don't like some of the things that he says, but I like the fact that he's straight. And my family are very much like, because they're all from fucking council houses. They're all from, like, don't get me wrong, like, they're doing decent now, but, like, they are, my grassroots is strong, and I kind of, like, I don't ever want to forget where they come from, but I also want to grow and develop and not bring my kid up the way I was brought up. You know what I mean? I want to give my kid everything that I can possibly give her. Like, you know, I want to pass on those fucking 10 mental properties when I go, you know what I mean? I want to give her a lot more than what I was given, but at the same time, my kid doesn't get spoiled. You know, even though I might have a few quid here and there and everywhere, like, my kid, like, I don't buy my kid's affection. Like, I'd rather spend time with my kid than fucking go and buy her shit, throw money. Because that's another typical thing that fathers tend to do a little bit, is, like, when they're away, and that they tend to throw money. Don't get me wrong, I get my kids loads of stuff too, but, like, I much prefer it. My kid only wants my love and attention. That's all kids want. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, so, like, I won't spoil my kid. My kid will know fucking, you have to work for your money. My kid's only 3 now, and when we went on holidays, it was like, we took money out of our savings tin, because she's always like, she's a money magnet. She's exactly like me. She attracts money. I've often not been able to pay parking, and I'd be going to a car seat and I'd find like €2. I'm like, oh, you legend. Swear that's happened at least 10 times. But I bring money for her, and I was like, you can only have €5 every day, babe. You can spend €5, and like she's 3. I'm already teaching her the value of money. Like, you know, she was like, the first day she spent it on something ridiculous, and then she wanted something else. I was like, no, you already spent £5. I was like, I told you,
Mate,
I'm getting this Scouse accent bad. But I was like, no, you already got €5. I was like, you're not getting more. I was like, tomorrow, if you want something, maybe you'll spend it smarter. And then the next day, she was a little, you could see every day she was getting smarter and smarter.
Bit more
It's good,
smart.
mate. It's good to be disciplined like that, because I imagine it's so hard to not spoil your kid, especially. And you see it. You see loads of people doing it, don't you? Who've maybe come from disadvantaged backgrounds, or certainly not wealthy backgrounds, and then, you know, they've suddenly hit the jackpot, and then they're throwing cash at the kids through also, whether it's through clothes or whatever, or especially when they get older. Can I have this? Yeah, of course you can. Just being yes to them. It is hard, I imagine. Yeah, of course.
Like, I had a friend one time, a while back now, and he was a grafter, you know what I mean? Worked fucking, done whatever he was doing, but he used to give his kid all the Da Vinci fucking, all these mad designer names and all. But then I remember him coming, shit hit the fan one time, and he was fucking flapping, thinking he was going to get locked up and that. And he was like shitting himself, but he was saying like, I look at my brother now, and he has like a beautiful family. His kids, he says, my kids are little bastards, they're spoiled as fuck. He says, I just gave them everything. He said, because I had money, and because I didn't come from that. I wanted that when I was growing up, so I gave them all of it. He said, but now they're cheeky little bastards, no value for money, no nothing. He said, my brother, he works a steady 9-to-5 job. He says, fucking, he's safe as houses because he's at buying a house. This fella could never buy a house. He might have had loads of money, but he couldn't buy a house.
Yeah.
He was living good.
Yeah.
He was driving around a nice fancy car, a nice fucking AP or something on, but he can't buy a house because his money is not legit, you know what I mean? So he was saying, like, I'm now jealous of my brother, just for the simple fact, like, his kids are well behaved, they're not spoiled, they're not. And do you know what, like, my dad used to kind of have say a little bit, like, you don't have to always learn from your own mistakes, learn from other people's mistakes too. So when you see the likes that, I'm still young, but I have a old head on my shoulders a little bit, you know, because I look at a lot of people and try to take a little people's games and knowledge, and when someone's a little bit older than me tells me something, I just try to take it on board, you know, and,
yeah, of course,
and put it into my own
What
life.
you've been through as well, mate, you've been through a lot there in those teenage years, and that, like, a lot of trauma and stuff. You will have learned so much from that and about yourself as well.
Yeah, I grew up a lot, like, you know what I mean? Like I was saying, I was driving my bleeding sister. I still haven't got a licence now. When I was driving my sister when I was 15 to school, I can drive, I tell you, I can drive at them, but the motorbikes, everything, like, I can jockey a horse bareback, I can do the whole lot. But I still haven't got a licence, you know what I mean? I need to do that stuff ASAP, like, but yeah, I've done mad stuff in my day. I've had to grow up real young, but I'm proud of who I am today, and that's why, like, I have no issues telling people my story and telling, like, and some people are like, Jesus, can't believe he says that on TV, and he can't. I don't care. I genuinely don't care.
Now hearing your story and stuff, mate, after kind of looking at all your stuff today and that, but then now hearing your story, mate, I can see why you're just like, fuck it, man, this is who
I am.
Yeah.
Hey, I love it. Channel C's on top. I don't give a fuck. I'm living my good life. You know what I mean? I'm living a good life, and every day I'm thankful for the life that I am living. Yeah. Like, that's the thing. I don't take advantage of, man. I'm appreciative for everything, and like, I don't be saying like thank you for this stupid watch that I'm wearing today. Like, well, no, when I be saying thank you for like my little affirmations at night, you know, a lot of the time, thank you for the air that I'm breathing. Thank you for just giving me water today. That shit's what's important. Yeah, you know what I mean? Thank you for the clean, beautiful food that I'm able to eat. You know what I mean? Filling me belly today.
Yeah.
Just having health to be able to walk. Like, that shit's important,
mate. And thank you for giving your time as well.
My pleasure, pal. My pleasure.
It was nearly 2.5 hours, so we've.
Wow, that's amazing.
Before we end it though on that, obviously, mate, the last fight, mate, which we touched on a little bit before. What's the next kind of on the back of that loss?
I want a big fight straight away. I was on the way back, and see, I know what I'm capable of achieving, so I don't want no journeyman. I don't want no like rebuild fight. Straight away, I was like, get me someone in the top 15. I need someone with a big name to give me hunger, because when I'm like one of those, if I fight at a bad level, I fight at a bad level. If I fight someone good, I fight good.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It
brings out the best out of me. So I like to test myself. So I said, get me someone in the top 15, and then that bangs me in the contention for the world title then next year. Because my goal is to win a world title in 2021. So I don't care.
So when will that next fight be then, do you think?
So my next fight is going to be soon, but definitely before the year is out. I'm trying to get 2 fights, actually squeeze 2 fights in. But by the end of the year now, whether that happens or not is another thing. But I'm definitely getting one more big fight by the end of the year. And then as long as I'm in the top 15, hopefully, please God, we're just MTK's on it. They're signing Jamel Herring. So Carl Frampton and Jamel Herring be fighting for the WBO.
Mate, he's got a crazy story, him, do you know?
Yeah.
So I spoke to him on Twitter quite a bit, and he's
lovely kid.
Yeah, he's had a fucking crazy life. He was in the Marines. He was in Iraq and Afghanistan. He's lost a child. He's
mad stuff, like.
Yeah,
But you know what? I think most fighters have that mad background because it's one of them. It's one of them, like, you haven't got that fighting spirit or that, like, hunger if you haven't.
Yeah.
Because it's shit gets hard in there, you know what I mean? Like, we all only get fit and we get, like, strong. You can only do so much in the ring or, like, in training and that. But sooner or later, it's coming down to mental strength. You know what I mean? That's what I pride myself on, is mental strength. Like, no one can beat me mentally. That's genuinely the way I think. Like, I'm like, fuck, I don't care. Like, now, sometimes I get into that dog fight and I'm like, it's me or you, mate. Like, I'm not giving up.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
So
you're going to quit sooner or later. Just have that in me, you know what I mean?
love it.
It's mad, but you just need to have a messed up background in order to have that. Unfortunately. It was good.
Oh, mate, thank you so much for this, yeah.
My
Fucking
pleasure,
thanks so
pal.
much
Thank
for
you.
reaching out, mate, because we'd
No,
never
100%.
known you to be,
Yeah,
you know.
From this one, yeah.
No,
Honestly.
it was really a pleasure being here, and I appreciate you having me.
Mate, I love, and so fucking switched on as well, mate, with, you know, all the stuff and
We
to
try,
see, you know, the goals, everything, mate.
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
shit like this.
Yeah,
fucking
for
love
sure. It's just, the thing is, it's inspirational to some kid that might be 16. It could inspire them.
100%,
Oh, mate, 100%. There'll be someone who listens who's been through a
Yeah.
similar fucked up kind of situation, and they'd be like,
Especially
you know
in
what?
Liverpool,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, mate, it's a lot of
some
it, man.
fella, Luke Hogan. Big shout out to Luke Hogan. He was rapping there in the city the other day. Not yesterday, day before. And I was walking past and I gave him like a $5 and change or something. And then his next song, I was standing there, I was putting on my Instagram, and his next song was something about losing a parent, wasn't it? I was like, I had to get him a score then. I was like, go man, come all on my Instagram and that. And then he was like, oh mate, you didn't have to do that, thank you. He was messaging me after. He obviously didn't realise that I was fucking professional boxer and all, and I had beaten 80,000 followers. He was delighted, he was made up, he was like, mate, you didn't have to do that, thank you, appreciate it. He says, never even mind the money. He says, you didn't have to do that. He said, but thank you, I really appreciate it. He said, I'm more happy that you put me on your social media, thanks, I really appreciate that.
Brilliant.
Like 100%, mate. I seen him then yesterday walking down the road. I was like, mate, come here. So I got a picture. He was already to text me the night before then. And then I was like, I got a picture of him. I was texting him earlier on, you know what I mean? So
I love it.
he's only a little young fella from around the town, you know what I mean? So he's a good little rapper.
That's what it's all
yeah,
about,
Luke
man.
Hogan. Give him a shout. Instagram.
Mate, thank you so much.
My pleasure, lads. Thank
You're
you
a
for having
star.
me.